inside of me. You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy. To be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, gets off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, loves of blood and gold. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel the force of blood in. If you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip. You be chewed up and discarded.
And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. When there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate. dreams. I push your mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out
I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's get this show started. I hope everyone is having a good Wednesday, hump day. But the saga continues. The war, whatever you want to call it, operation continues up in Iran. Seems like it's going to continue for a little bit more longer. It's not going to get better. I just feel like it's just the beginning of worse things to come. But hope everyone having a good day. Listen, I got to talk a little bit about some stuff that I need to clear out the way. Medical wise, for me, I'm going through a lot of stuff. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on in this brain that it's giving me problems. Because I did have a traumatic brain injury, and it seems like it's giving me some kind of issues. And I got a call today from the doctors, and they're kind of concerned, and they're sending me to do an MRI on my brain. And hopefully it's not too crazy or some kind of aneurysm. I hope not. I really don't want to go through that because I know people who have gone through that, and it's just a fucking nightmare. But I've been getting a lot of issues up in here, so it's not helping. And my knee is acting up too, and I'm going to see a surgeon for that also. So right now, my body is like the game Operation. Remember the game from the 80s where you have to pick out the little bone from the game and not move it around so much because you don't want that little red nose to light up? I hated that game. I really did. I didn't have steady hands. That's one thing. I was like, give me the fucking bones. But and also we got to talk about the Pokémon because we got a big release coming out at the end of this month. Close to the end of the month is going to be on March 27th, where the Perfect Order is going to be coming out, and I'm going to be ripping that open here on my Mind Over Your Matter shorts. It's going to be on my shorts. It's going to be in my shorts on YouTube. Just got to check it out on my channel. Go over to Pokemon Rips, I believe. I think it's let me see how I titled it. I forgot how the hell I titled it. I've been so freaking busy. And then I'm ripping every day a pack of Pokemon in hopes on getting more people to come on and subscribe to the channel, because we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers little by little. We will get there. It's going to take, I hope not a whole year to do it, but if it does, oh well, I'm ready for it. But it's called Pokemon Daily Short Rips. Say that 3 times. Pokemon Daily Short Rips. It sounds like short ribs. I could go for some ribs right now. I'm getting hungry. But enough about the Pokemon. Enough about me. Let's get straight to the news, because we've got a lot to watch. And I got plenty of videos for us to watch. Apparently, I got to reset this here, because it's StreamYard, and StreamYard is not very cooperative. Okay, here we go. Set this up and change my settings here, and enjoy.
Team coverage kicks off right now. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin is standing by.
But first, foreign correspondent
Terry, what's up, Terry? How you doing?
Kick off the hour, Trey.
How's Kayla doing?
John,
it's been a while. I haven't seen her.
Reports indicate Israel is bracing for an uptick in Iranian fire tonight. Overnight, there were more missiles launched at this country, although fewer at a time, given the fact that the United States and Israeli planes continued to go after these launching positions inside of Iran. You can see in this video here some of those interceptions taking place over Israel's second largest city of Tel Aviv, sending millions of people below into bomb shelters. Those planes that are taking out these launching positions being flown by pilots that are stationed just outside of Tel Aviv. Israel's chief of staff, Eyal Zamir, met with some of those pilots today, encouraging them to continue striking Iranian targets alongside their American counterparts. As all of this is taking place, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, has a new update on the success of the operation.
The IDF, together with our partner, is carrying out an impressive and systemic operation targeting regime personnel themselves, the Revolutionary Guards, and the Basij. Many thousands have been killed, and because they are shutting down the internet, they are concealing it.
The Israelis looking east, but they're also looking north to the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. You can see in these strikes here, massive explosions in the Dakhia neighborhood of southern Beirut. This is where Hezbollah is launching a lot of their command and control operations from. And even as we speak now, there are alerts coming in northern Israel as Hezbollah launches more rockets over the border. Israeli ground troops are all pushing into defensive positions in northern Israel, actually moving deep into southern Lebanon. Some artillery units here along the border being used to target Hezbollah positions just across the border. Now today, shifting back to the Iranian capital of Tehran, some interesting images here. You can see funerals that were held. All of the people in the streets here, these are pro-regime demonstrators in support of the new supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, the son of him, Mujtaba Khamenei. And it's important to note here, we're not seeing any of the anti-regime protesters in the streets of Tehran over fears about a crackdown, and a new statement today from a security official in the capital of Tehran saying this.
If someone comes to the streets at the request of the enemy, we do not see them as protesters or anything like that. We see them as enemies, and we will deal with them as we would with the enemy. All our children are ready to fire.
What?
Ready to fire. Those are the remarks that you are hearing
today
from Iranian officials as they're getting hammered by U.S. and Israeli strikes. We expect
they're
these
using
strikes
their
to ramp
children
up in the hours and days ahead. Earlier today, U.S. Central Command indicating that each and every hour there are U.S. jets over the skies of Iran striking targets. John, Sandra?
Heaping helping of propaganda from the Iranians there, Trey, I would venture to say. Thanks so much for
Be sure to
big time propaganda. It's just pretty wild. Let's keep it moving.
Have been targeted by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz overnight. Threats to shipping vessels and their crews is causing global concerns over oil prices. The 3 separate vessels were hit by unknown projectiles while attempting to pass through the strait, one of the most important shipping lanes in the world. The International Energy Agency has announced that its 32 member countries, that includes Australia, voted unanimously for the largest release ever of emergency oil reserves, some 400 million barrels of oil. An Iranian drone has struck oil facilities in the Omani port of Salalah, sparking a huge fire. And an Iranian official has confirmed to Reuters that the new Ayatollah, Mojtaba Khamenei, was injured in the early stages of the war, but, quote, is active. Whatever that means. He's not been seen in public or issued any public statement since being appointed as the supreme leader, which has led to more and more questions and doubts even of his whereabouts. Elsewhere, Iran's sports minister has made comments on state TV saying that the country cannot compete in June's FIFA World Cup. Large banks have been clearing out their offices across the Gulf region after Iran threatened to target financial institutions. Israel continues to target Hezbollah sites across Lebanon, as you just saw moments ago. We'll run that for you again soon. While Iranian drones have further targeted Gulf nations, including Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE. That includes Dubai International Airport, where 4 people were injured. CBS News is reporting that the Iranian strike that killed US servicemen in Kuwait at the start of the war was more severe than originally reported, with 30 military members still in hospital.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're going to underreport it, of course. They're going to do that. They're going to let the enemy know.
Joining me now, the Australian's foreign editor, Greg Sheridan. Greg, we'll get to the detail of the war, but I want a quick comment from you about the Iranian women's football team. I'm rightly critical, I think, as you are, of some of the work, appalling work to date of Tony Burke in the Home Affairs job, but I think the government has managed.
The children are their human shields.
It's a
Yeah,
horrific choice for the women.
that's what they do, and
they
then
have
they arm them
managed
too.
what has been a difficult
They all
couple of
give the
days
children guns.
as best they could. What's your thought?
Well, Peter, great to be with you. I think you're right. The government has done the right thing here. Now, if it had not done the right thing, that would have been infamous. But, you know, vulnerable women athletes bravely declining to sing the anthem to a murderous, putrid government, facing terrible fate when they get home. Probably, like the rest of us, they thought the regime would collapse more quickly. Maybe that influenced their decision when they didn't sing the anthem. But yes, the government has handled this pretty well. Their early statements that seemed a bit insensitive were obviously cloaking what was going on behind the scenes. They tried to not compromise the women who did go home. They tried to respect their choice, and they offered them sanctuary. So absolutely, this is who we are. This is Australia. We stand with vulnerable people against tyranny.
I do think public pressure put the government on notice that they needed to do more than initially signalled by Matt Thistlethwaite on Sunday. Let's go now, though, to the nuts and bolts of the war. The Iranians say they're not interested in a ceasefire. The president seemed to call it all done and dusted yesterday, but the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has warned that the worst is still yet to come. I'm interested in your assessment on where we are actually in terms of the United States positioning on what success looks like and when they call it over, but also Iran's fighting capacity. I mean, how wounded are they? How much munitions do you think, how much capacity do you think they've got left, Greg?
Peter, those are great questions. They're very hard to know. It's very hard to know either how much runway Trump has got or how much runway the Iranians have got. Seems to me that the combination of the bond markets, the stock markets and the oil prices spooked Trump a day or two ago. And that's why he said, look, it's nearly all over. Don't worry, it will be gone in a few days. So the market's restabilised. It's not a popular war at home. He hasn't got much domestic support for it. So I think there's a pretty hard limit on how long Trump goes for. Iran is tremendously degraded in its capacities, but it's still firing missiles. It's got this decentralized decision-making process. It's firing fewer missiles than before. It seems to have lots and lots of drones. It's firing fewer drones than before. There's very good speculation the Russians have helped it with targeting, and it has hit a number of American radars in the region, as well as really harming the global oil trade and natural gas trade. Now, if Iran can keep firing, they don't care how many of their people are killed or how much of a hit they take to their economy. They are a suicidal, murderous regime of fanatics. But if they can keep firing, they keep imposing a cost. I mean, really, the Americans need to clear the Strait of Hormuz and silence the Iranian guns in order, in my view, to really claim a decisive victory.
Well, they've blown up about a dozen mine-laying boats near the Hormuz Strait. I mean, how quickly do you think, or what does that mean in terms of opening it up?
Well, that's a good thing. It's good that the Americans have done that, but it's very easy to lay mines. I mean, one of the many countless defence derelictions in Australia is that we don't have smart mines to lay ourselves and we don't have demining capabilities. But really, any boat can lay a mine. You can take out a dinghy, and the Iranians are very good at using small boats to achieve big results. Now, Trump has threatened them with the most severe threats possible if they succeed in laying any mines, but they've effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz anyway because, oil companies and ships and tankers and so on, they're just not game to go down there. The insurance costs are hideous and the dangers are too great. Now, the Americans can, Trump is a genius at just declaring victory and leaving, and he could do that tomorrow. But the Iranians, and no one is more hostile to them than I am, but they have also exercised their deterrence in this conflict. They've shown they can wreak massive disruption on global oil trade and the rest. If they survive this attack and reconstitute themselves, then this will be a tremendous, sobering deterrent to any future president who thinks they need to mow the lawn again, because the Iranians can cause chaos if they want to.
Doesn't that just prove, though, Greg, and all the comments you make about the type of individuals that are running the Iranian state, doesn't this just prove that we have to finish the job? And doesn't this make countries like the United Kingdom and Australia look like two-bit players on the world stage when this is a civilisational moment? That we're all standing back, that our Prime Minister goes to the lectern almost daily at pains to say that nothing we are doing is an offensive posture, that we're doing nothing that could possibly be warlike. I mean, even the reports I just discussed then with Chris Yeoman about our submariners being sent to their bunks. I mean, surely this is where we need strength,
on
not
my
weakness.
right ear. Like,
yeah, I
really,
think you're absolutely right, Peter.
like a low pulse.
But I make two very quick comments.
Very sharp
First
on
of
my
all,
right ear.
Trump, deserves a lot of credit for having the guts to do these things, but he didn't prepare the American people and he didn't secure domestic support. Seth Rogen and a lot of his key backers are dead against this war. So he also bears blame because America is not now, filled with the resolve it needs to sustain this battle through the hard times of high oil prices and so forth. But your comments about Britain and Australia are quite right. I actually think this matter with the submariners is much more serious and much worse than other commentators are assessing it. I wrote a front page piece about it earlier this week. We are not just on those submarines in a training exercise. We decided about 20 years ago, under the Howard government, I believe, that when we deployed soldiers with the Brits and the Americans, they could go into operations. We don't do this with anyone else. If we're on a training mission with the Indonesians or the Italians, they don't go into operations with those forces. But we are meant to eventually have hundreds of Australian sailors on the American nuclear submarine force. Now, if our view is that they're not to participate in combat, then the Americans will have to rethink eventually. The hardheads in the American Navy will say, well, what's the point of having Australians on our boats if they're not going to fight? And, I think actually this astonishing move to, I said as a joke in my column, did they send them to the mess room and they all had to have a group hug and sing Kumbaya? Actually, worse, they sent them to their bunks. Now, I really think this imperils the entire project of naval cooperation, because if we are not an ally, and it's also grossly hypocritical because Pine Gap and Northwest Cape are certainly participating in this conflict every day. And I think this is both confused and cowardly. And in the end, the hardheads in the American Navy will say, well, guess what? The Aussies used to be people you could count on to fight. They're not like that anymore. And I think that's quite ominous for us in the medium term.
Yeah, how to wreck a proud military history for this country in a matter of weeks under this Prime Minister. I tell you what, Greg, thank you.
All right. Skiboo-boy.
Esther, seeing as you're over in the UK, I have to ask you about your Prime Minister over there, Keir Starmer. We have heard from him. Let's take a listen.
More generally, and in answer to your question, we do need to find a way to de-escalate the situation, and that's what a lot of our discussions are about. How do we find a way to de-escalate this situation and make sure it doesn't escalate even further than it already has?
Esther, I mean, he is so irrelevant. That is what he has to say about the war in Iran. What do you make of Keir Starmer's performance recently? And is this relationship between him and Donald Trump, is it over? I mean, how bad is it really?
I mean, you could probably play a drinking game with how many times he said the word escalate, which just goes to show it's kind of a nervous tick when he realizes he's not actually saying anything. It's kind of in the same vein of Kamala Harris's word salad. Yeah. But he's not just irrelevant. He is leading a UK that is declining in relevance. An army base, a British army base got attacked in Cyprus. And to add to the nation's humiliation, it was the French who had to send a ship to defend the island because all of our warships were either in maintenance or just completely out of action. We have hollowed out our armed forces. And you have to wonder, what really is America gaining from this special relationship? They have an ally that can't even defend themselves. What help would they be to the US? And, you know, Donald Trump really said it well when he actually rejected Keir Starmer's offer to send some warships out to the Middle East, because he said, you know, we don't want the help of people that only come on side once we're winners. Keir Starmer, we have to remember, rejected Donald Trump's request to use a joint US and UK base in Diego Garcia and the Chagos Islands as part of their launch against Iran. And so the sort of lengthening the whole military operation. And Donald Trump was really upset about this, actually, because this is a joint army base that the US frequently uses. And now it's out of bounds, basically, because Keir Starmer has come up with this harebrained scheme to give it to the Mauritians, who never even owned the islands in the first place. So we're paying to give away territory that we already own and then paying rent on top of it, which boggles the mind. But in terms of the special relationship, you can tell that it's in a pretty poor state, because actually we've been hearing rumors of King Charles stepping in and trying to patch things. We know that whenever Keir Starmer is struggling to deal with Donald Trump, the royal family steps in, because it's probably the last bastion of good graces that we have with Donald Trump. And it looks like that's going to happen again. I think Donald Trump doesn't really have an issue with the UK. He has an issue with the UK's leadership, which is the cowardice of Keir Starmer, the inability for him to take a decision, the inability for him to see past, you know, international law, which isn't worth the paper that it's printed on, because international law certainly didn't save Ukraine when it was invaded by Russia. And these are the things that are frustrating the Americans, because if you become an unreliable ally, you isolate yourself. You certainly have enemies, but then you don't have anyone you can call upon when you're in a situation. And I think that's a really dangerous position to be in.
And it must be so frustrating for the Brits. I mean, looking at your Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, just making a fool of himself every step of the way. Also, I want to talk to you about this story that's come out that flying the English, Scottish and Union flags, well, that is set to be dubbed a tool of hate, according to a leaked draft of the government's forthcoming community cohesion strategy. It says that the national symbols could be used to intimidate. It warns that the extreme right has tried to turn symbols of pride into tools of hate, Esther. Look, last summer, we saw plenty of people protesting against mass migration. A lot of those protesters were women, mothers, speaking up for young daughters. And this is the same place, the UK, where you can get arrested for tweets. I mean, what a joke this has all become.
Yeah, I mean, just to put this into perspective, a few weeks ago, I went to the Bell Hotel in Epping, which was basically the epicenter for last year's summer riots. That's where everything kicked off, because a boat migrant who had arrived in that hotel a couple of weeks ago had been arrested and then later convicted of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl in the town. And that just enraged the locals. I went to see it, about 8 months after the riots last summer. And it was not only boarded up, there were security personnel there. And I literally caught on film them escorting one of these migrants. They still kept it as a hotel. The government actually sued the local council and said, no, our priority is not to the local residents of the town, it's to housing illegal migrants. And so I watched three security personnel escort a migrant into that hotel. And you have to think, so that's not going to that shouldn't outrage people, but it's flying flags of your own country. That is a tool of hate and oppression. And you can see that the government has its priorities completely warped. I mean, why are we even having a conversation about whether the flags of the country that you live in, that you pay taxes to, whether they actually take the concerns of the British public seriously?
And just finally, Esther, before I let you go, returning to news in the United States and, of course, what is happening in the Middle East, Donald Trump has revealed that J.D. Vance was less enthusiastic about the Iran war. Take a listen to this.
President, are there any points of disagreement between yourself and your vice president when it comes to U.S. action in Iran?
I don't think so. No, we get along very well on this. He was, I would say, philosophically a little bit different than me. I think he was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he was quite enthusiastic. But I felt it was something we had to do. I didn't feel we had a choice. If we didn't do it, they would have done it to us. I felt, based on the negotiations that were being had by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and Marco and Pete and everybody was involved, I felt that they were looking to tap us along before they hit, and I thought they were going to hit. And if they hit us first, that would have been a very bad thing.
It's pretty interesting to hear Donald Trump reveal that. What do you make of those comments from Donald Trump there, really admitting that J.D. Vance wasn't all that happy about this?
I think it's not surprising. We know that J.D. Vance, the only reason why he even came on the side for Trump was the fact that he said he believed when Trump said no more foreign wars. Now, I think, there's a lot of speculation about obviously what's happening with Iran, where is it going to lead? But I think we have to make a lot of room for the fact that there's a swath of intelligence that's the public is just not privy to. I mean, even the successful assassination on Khomeini that was carried out by the US and Israel, that took years of surveillance and intelligence information gathering. Of course, ideologically, J.D. Vance is not in favor of sort of foreign interventions and all of that, but I think he became privy to information that actually convinced him in the end. And I think we have to make room for the fact that there's a lot of gray areas that the public just don't know. And it's right that we don't know, because you don't want to destroy the elements of surprise. We know that from Trump's previous administration, the assassination of Qasem Soleimani took the world by surprise. But again, this was precise work by the intelligence community that the public just was not allowed to know at the time, because it would have completely ruined everything. So I think we have to remember that. And there are loads of dealings under the table that go on that the public are not privy to. The only thing that we should know is about progress and what the ultimate aim of this is. And Trump can only be judged by the ultimate outcome of this. If Iran is weakened significantly, that's better for the entire world.
Yes.
And I think that's what most people are hoping for.
Of course. It is interesting listening to Donald Trump there, though. It makes me wonder whether he'll be backing Marco Rubio over J.D. Vance come 2028. Esther Kraku, writer and broadcaster, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, let's keep it moving.
And as you know, we're doing something that nobody ever thought was possible to do. Our military is the best. It's the most powerful in the world, and they're hitting them very hard. This is 47 years of abuse and killing lots of people, killing and maiming lots of people.
I'm sorry about the tone. It's bothering me.
Militarily for this operation.
The helicopter is bothering me.
And we'll see how that all comes out. Right now,
I hate that sound.
They've lost their Navy, they've lost their Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all. They have no radar. Their leaders are gone. And we could do a lot worse to one another. We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
Wow.
Report says that the military investigation has found that the United States struck the school in Iran. As Commander-in-Chief, do you take responsibility for that?
That is what?
As Commander-in-Chief, do you...
For what?
for the strike on the school in Iran. A new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
I don't know about that.
Wow. He even said, I don't know about that.
Are you talking to the CEOs of various oil companies, encouraging them to use the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. I think they should use it. In my opinion, look, we took out just about all of their mine ships in one night. We're up to boat number 60. I didn't realize they had that big a Navy. I would say it was big and ineffective. But every one of their ships, just about all of their Navy is gone at the bottom of the sea.
How do you respond? Have they laid any mines in the Strait of Hormuz?
We don't think so.
Is Senator Thune listening to you when you say you want to pass the Save America Act? He says there aren't the votes to do it right now. What's your response?
Well, he's got to be a leader. You know, if he's a leader, he's got to get him. It's the most popular bill I've ever seen put before Congress. And it's voter ID and it's voter. You have to be able to be a citizen to vote. It's called citizenship. And we're also adding in no men playing in women's sports, no transgender mutilization of our children, and no mail-in ballots, fake mail-in ballots. We have none of that, except in the case of the military, etc.
Wow. That's really good.
It is the Save America Act. It's the most popular bill I think I've ever put before.
Wow.
Can you declare victory in this war if the supreme leader remains the Ayatollah's son?
I don't want to comment on that. I don't want to comment. But I will tell you, I just spoke with various countries, the leaders of various countries. You'll have a list. And they said they've never seen anything like it. We have, and I built it during my first term, and I used it. I didn't realize I was going to use it this much, but we have the greatest military in the world by far. Nobody's close.
About a domestic terrorist
We're not invited to the Shield of the Americas. Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia were not invited to the Shield of the Americas. Why was that? And could they come in the future to the event?
I think they were invited. Maybe they didn't come. I think they were. I get along very well with all of them.
In Iraqi parliament, few days, member slogan, "Take to America, take to Israel." What is your response to them? What is your message for Iraqi government?
What did he say?
In Iraqi parliament, slogan, "Take of America, take of Israel." Member of the parliament.
Death to America, death to Israel. What's your response?
That's not a nice question.
That's not a nice question.
Did Spain give in after you told them that you would commerce ties with them? Are they cooperating with the United States?
Who?
Spain.
No, they're not. I think they're not cooperating at all. Spain, I think they've been very bad. Very bad. Not good at all. We may cut off trade with Spain.
Wow.
You guys all trade with them?
I don't know what Spain's doing. They've been very bad to NATO. They get protected. They don't want to pay their fair share. And they've been that way for many years. Let me give you the good news. The people of Spain are fantastic. The leadership, like you. The leadership, not so good.
He said like you, not so good.
Hezbollah is making dangers for the Lebanese, especially the Lebanese Christians. What is your message for Lebanon?
Well, we're working on it very hard. We love Lebanon. We love the people of Lebanon. And we're working very hard. We got to get rid of the Hezbollah. Has been a disaster for many years.
Wow.
About what?
The new oil refinery going up in Brownfield.
Oh, it'll be great.
I can't with this cameraman.
It's going to be the greatest anywhere in the world. There's never been anything like it. It's great that it's going up in Texas. You know, it's very hard to get refineries done.
He needs to put his little stand. He needs to step up.
Ever built. Thank you for that question.
Damn, look at all the reporters. Holy smokes. Damn, Biden never seen anything like this.
Well, look.
Biden would have a seizure.
We've knocked
if he saw this many people.
We've knocked out all of their anti-defense. We've taken out 60 mine boats, 59 mine boats, which
With the Secret Service in the
nobody has
background.
ever seen anything like it. We have the greatest military in the world by far, not even close. So, you know what? They've inflicted 47 years worth of damage to the world, and now they're paying a big price.
Mr. President, are you willing to withdraw the U.S. from Iran, even if they have not turned over and allowed the U.S. to seize their remaining?
I'm not going to answer that, but
He's not answering.
we have hit them harder than virtually any country in history has been hit, and we're not finished yet.
Wow.
Why did the FBI keep records there?
All right, so it does appear that we may have lost audio in
No!
this video that we received
Bitch!
just now, but this happening moments ago.
Aw,
I'm keeping that
man.
audio up, but it
Oh, okay, good. Can we see this? Damn, we lost audio. Can't hear. You can read lips. You saying we're doing a very good job, probably the best job, and we're killing them all.
We all have relatives, but they've done, and now they're
I think Trump has like the best hair of any president.
A year ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country in the world.
Wow. The fact that he stood there and spoke to all these reporters, I am so amazed. I need some more Trump because that microphone at the end really messed it up. Here we go.
So some of the best and brightest colleagues are coming up with the center. Well, it's a great company. We're just talking about how the expansion's going, and a lot of expansion because of Trump, I have to say. But I think the 1 year depreciation is great. 1 year expensing, everyone loves it. And we did a little excursion. We had to take this little few weeks of excursion, but it's been incredible. Our military is unbelievable, the job they're doing. I would say, to put it mildly, way ahead of schedule. We've knocked out their Navy, their military in all forms. We've knocked out just about everything there is, including their leadership. Twice. We knocked out twice their leadership. And now they have a new group coming up. Let's see what happens to them. But 47 bad years we suffered with them, not only us, the rest of the world. And we're doing our job. So we had to take an excursion, but it's doing well. The market's holding up well. I figured we'd be hit a little bit, but we were hit probably less than I thought, and we'll be back on track in a pretty short while. Prices are coming down very substantially. Oil will be coming down. That's just a matter of war. That happens you can almost predict it. I would say it went up a little bit less than we thought. It's going to come down more than anybody understands. Do you have any questions, Peter?
Yes. You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war, and the war is going to be. For them, it's a war. For us, it's turned out to be easier than we thought. But think of it, they had thousands of missiles, 8,000 missiles. We got many of them before they got to launch. They have drones all over the place. We got many. Now we're knocking out the drone plants, as you know, going fast. They started talking about mines. So we hit 28 mine chips as of this moment, 28. Like using the same weapon, the exact same weapon that we use against the drug dealers in the water. We have, as an example, we had tremendous drugs pouring in through the waters, through the sea. And now we have almost none. It's down 97% through water. Now we'll do it through land. The land is easier than water. But this is a great honor being here. It's a great company. I've known it for a long time. And you have done a fantastic job. And I'd like to congratulate you.
Thank you. It's the colleagues' work.
See the colleagues. Talk about it yourself. It's a new form of physics. My associates, my colleagues, what about people that just work for you? No, right? They're colleagues.
25 years working together.
That's why it's doing so well. Congratulations. Great company. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great honor. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Gentlemen, we thought it would just be good to introduce some of our best
let's go.
People in our team. And
All right, let's keep it moving.
Overnight, the International Energy Agency agreed to release 400 million barrels from the emergency oil reserve as prices escalate due to Iran's grip on the Strait of Hormuz. Let's first take a look at the price of Brent crude as it currently sits at about $92 a barrel overnight. That's US, so it hasn't moved much despite all of that. The world's energy watchdog said its 32 members, one of which is Australia, had agreed unanimously to release the emergency crude. This intervention exceeds the release of 182 million barrels in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
I can now announce that IEA countries have unanimously decided to launch the largest ever release of emergency oil stocks in our agency's history. 400 million barrels of oil available to the market to offset the supply lost through the effective closure of the strait.
US President was questioned about accessing the crucial thoroughfare this morning, and this was his response.
Are you talking to the CEOs of various oil companies, encouraging them to use the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah,
I think they should. I think they should. I think they should use it. My opinion, look, we took out just about all of their mine ships in one night. We're up to boat number 60. I didn't realize that big a Navy. I would say it was big and ineffective. But every one of their ships, just about all of their Navy is gone at the bottom of the sea.
In contrast, Iran is threatening to force the price of oil up even further if conflict in the region continues, calling out the United States and Israel as targets if their ships pass through Hormuz.
We will never allow even a single litre of oil to pass through the Strait of Hormuz for the benefit of the United States, the Zionist regime, or their partners. Any vessel whose cargo or oil shipment is destined for the United States, the Zionist regime, or their hostile partners will be considered a legitimate target. As we have already warned, if the war spreads across the region, expect oil to reach $200 per barrel. Oil prices follow the level of security in the region, and the source of that insecurity is you.
The US Interior Secretary claims Donald Trump's policies are actually lowering prices globally and reiterated the importance of releasing the vast oil reserves.
What we have here is not a shortage of energy in the world. We've got a transit problem, which is temporary. This is the perfect time to think about releasing some of those to take some pressure off of the global price. But again, as you've seen, President Trump's leadership itself is helping to keep prices down all over the world right now.
Back at home, economists have raised the prospect of a cut to the fuel excise ahead of a likely rate rise when the RBA meets next week. This was actually a position put forward by the new Shadow Treasurer Tim Wilson on this program, First Edition, a couple of weeks ago. I asked Jim Chalmers about that last week. He said no. Is he going to change his mind? He's coming up in the program later.
Okay, let's keep it moving.
Alert, the U.S. military showcasing precision and power in the Middle East
It's taking action against Iranian Navy ships in the Strait of Hormuz in order to keep those shipping lanes open for oil and other cargo. As we get a new update from CENTCOM on Operation Epic Fury. Good morning. I'm Dana Perino. Bill Heimer is off today. Hello. Great to have you again.
Good morning and good to be with you once again.
Thank you.
I'm Bill Malugin. This is America's Newsroom. All of this coming as CENTCOM obliterates 16 Iranian mine-laying boats in the Strait of Hormuz. This is putting the focus on a critical waterway where 20% of the world's oil passes through. This display of American firepower coming after President Trump warned the Islamic Republic against planting explosives along the key trade route for energy supplies. In the meantime, Israeli forces also continuing their operations. They've launched a new wave of intense airstrikes on Beirut and Tehran.
And as the campaign unfolds, CENTCOM just moments ago given a sense of the sheer scale of Operation Epic Fury and how it's diminishing Iran's military.
Every day, we're striking hard at Iranian ballistic missile and drones. To date, we have struck more than 5,500 targets inside Iran, including more than 60 ships, using a variety of precision weapon systems. Just yesterday, we had strike waves nearly every hour from different locations and directions going into Iran. We also took out the last of 4 Soleimani-class warships. That's an entire class of Iranian ships now out of the fight. I'd characterize our strikes as being unpredictable, dynamic, and decisive. Since the first 24 hours of this campaign, Iranian ballistic missile and drone attacks have dropped drastically. But it's worth pointing out that Iranian forces continue to deliberately target innocent civilians in Gulf countries while hiding behind their own people as they launch attacks from highly populated cities in Iran. We are methodically dismantling them by hitting Iranian missiles and drones as we also strike their defense industrial base. Just last night, our bomber force hit a large ballistic missile manufacturing facility as an example. So it's not just about what's shooting at us today, it's also about eliminating the threat in the future. Now, let me show you a few of the results from the tremendous efforts by America's joint force. Here, you see an Iranian Jamaran-class warship, a large patrol ship, a drone smuggling vessel, and 4 other surface combatants docked at Chabahar port in the Gulf of Oman the day before we launched Operation Epic Fury. Here's the same pier 4 days later,
Oh,
all
shit.
ships taken out of action.
That's just
This Bayandar
destroyed.
class surface ship was hit and rolled on its side. Here's another example. Here you see 2 Iranian surface combatants docked at an Iranian naval base near the Strait of Hormuz, just hours into the campaign.
I hope they blew up the whole
And here's
area.
what they looked
Oh,
like
wow.
3 days later, engulfed in flames after we struck them with a precision weapon.
So there's all that. Plus, we have extensive coverage. Rich Edson is at the White House, Steve Harrigan at the Iranian border, and Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Tom Cotton is here. But first, let's get to Trey Yingst. He's got a live report from Tel Aviv. Good morning, Trey.
Dana, good morning. As this war develops, there is a renewed focus on the Persian Gulf amid new incoming Iranian attacks that targeted both Qatar
Damn,
and
they're
the
still
UAE
going at
earlier
it.
today.
Iran's
Iranian
on- going
drones
up.
striking just outside of Dubai's international airport, and also a look at the Strait of Hormuz, where we know that the United States overnight launched new strikes against 16 different Iranian vessels responsible
Damn,
for laying sea
16.
mines. According to the Wall Street Journal, at least 10 of these mines were deployed by the Iranians. And overnight, President Trump warned the regime that there would be significant consequences if they continue to stop the flow of global oil. Now, today, we do know the Iranians are still launching attacks not only against Gulf countries, but also against
Wow.
U.S. ally Israel. More sirens overnight here in Tel Aviv, sending hundreds of thousands in Tel Aviv into bomb shelters. We've heard similar sirens throughout the day with missile interceptions overhead, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making new remarks about the success of this joint operation.
We are in a campaign against a cruel enemy that wants to destroy us. We crushed their nuclear and ballistic capabilities in Operation Rising Lion. Afterwards, instead of learning the lesson, they tried to redevelop them and bury them deep underground in such a way that we could no longer target them.
With the Israelis looking east, they're also looking north to the Dahyan neighborhood of southern Beirut. You can see some intense airstrikes taking place there overnight, going after Hezbollah positions. Israeli forces also moved a key brigade from inside Gaza, the Golani Brigade, to their northern border in preparation for more offensive action. I do want to just bring your attention back to the Iranian capital of Tehran, where funerals are being held today for Iranian commanders. This really gives you a sense of just how devastating these U.S. and Israeli strikes have been against the Iranian regime. The people you see in the streets of Tehran here are supporters of the regime. Those who are against it are still afraid to enter into the streets of their country. But again, so many funerals taking place as these American and Israeli strikes are decimating the leadership of the Islamic Republic. Bill, Dana?
All right, Trey Yanks, thank you for that report. We'll pay attention to everything you have to say as the day goes on.
And we are also joined by Rich Edson, who is joining us from the live from the White House this morning. Hi, Rich.
Hey, good morning, Bill. Well, the White House is trying to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and prevent Iran from laying mines there. Concerned the Iranians were going to do just that, U.S. Central Command sent this out, quote, U.S. forces eliminated multiple Iranian naval vessels March 10th, including 16 mine layers near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump added that the United States has no reports of the Iranians laying mines, but, quote, if for any reason mines were placed and they are not removed forthwith, the military consequences to Iran will be at a level never seen before. Iran has effectively closed traffic through the strait. It's a narrow conduit between Iran and Oman, where about a fifth of the world's oil and gas travels, or at least used to. That and Iran's attacks on oil infrastructure in the region have pushed up oil prices. The Trump White House has floated ensuring or escorting tankers through the strait, though the military has yet to escort any. The White House also says the administration has temporarily permitted India to accept Russian oil that was already at sea despite sanctions against it. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum says the International Energy Agency should consider releasing some of its reserves.
When you have a temporary transit problem that we're resolving militarily and diplomatically, which we can resolve and will resolve, this is the perfect time to think about releasing some of those to take some pressure off of the global price.
It's unclear if the administration would tap the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Oil markets are also focused on exactly how long this conflict will last.
The president and the U.S. military's initial timeline was about 4 to 6 weeks to achieve the full objectives of Operation Epic Fury. Again, to destroy their missiles and their ability to make them, destroy their Navy, permanently deny them nuclear weapons forever, and to, of course, weaken their evil terrorist proxies in the region.
The White House press secretary says this operation will end when the president determines that those objectives have been met. Bill?
All right, Rich Edson live at the White House this morning. Rich, thank you.
For more on this, let's bring in Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. He's the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, which sometimes makes it difficult for him to tell us everything that he knows. And I know you can't because some things are classified. But how would you characterize America's ability right now to push back against the Iranians and keep that Strait of Hormuz from getting closed down completely?
Well, Dana, as you've heard Pete Hegseth and Chairman Dan Kane say, our military campaign is proceeding very successfully so far.
Wow, they hit it right inside. Look at that.
Ballistic missiles fall by almost 90%.
Wow, these are like really
of the war.
good weapons, man.
There are many days left ahead of us.
Yeah,
This is a
Iran's really
methodical,
big.
deliberate campaign to destroy Iran's missile and drone arsenal, its ability to manufacture them in the future, to ever have nuclear weapons, or to threaten the Strait of Hormuz. And President Trump has been crystal clear, we will not allow a radical, revolutionary regime in Iran
pretty big
to
fucking
threaten
country.
one of the world's
It's a beautiful
most
country,
strategic
too.
and vital waterways.
It's so sad
That's one
that
of the
they just
reasons
got
why
overrun
we
by
wanted to start this
terroristic
campaign in the first
individuals. But
Senator, some of your colleagues in the
It's a
Senate,
beautiful
they come out of
country.
these classified briefings and they're all doom and gloom, right? They say there's no strategy, there's no goal, they don't know what the U.S. is doing. You're in these same briefings with them. There's two realities coming out of these briefings. What are your thoughts when they come out and they go on TV and you're hearing from them something very different than what you're saying?
You know, Bill, Iran has had what you might call a Yosemite Sam strategy from the very beginning. They've just been shooting at everyone all around them, trying to threaten the world economy,
That's all
trying
they've
to
been
get
doing,
Arab
shooting.
leaders to call Donald Trump and plead for peace. Instead, they've been calling and asking for targeting coordinates. Iran
Wow.
succeeded in uniting the entire civilized world against its revolutionary regime, except for two groups, the Democratic Party and the liberal media. They seem to
Wow.
be rooting for our troops to fail and rooting
Wow.
for Iran to withstand this campaign. I can tell you that in these classified briefings, the briefers are very clear. They share as much information as they have. Not all the information is available. We can't tell you exactly how many launchers Iran has left for its missiles. We can't tell you exactly how many missiles or drones it has left. But it is a
Actually, they don't know.
deliberate, methodical campaign that is making tremendous progress. There may be tough days ahead, but it's
Because they
making
don't want to
great
let that
progress.
information
And the
out.
president's been very clear about those goals, about destroying the missiles and the drones, destroying the nuclear program, keeping the Strait of Hormuz open, and ensuring that Iran can no longer put a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz or the civilized world by its support for terror and other outlaw actions.
One of your another Democratic colleagues, Senator Blumenthal, he came out and talked about fears, as he described it, of Russia and Chinese involvement in this conflict against the U.S.
As disturbingly as anything else, the specter of active Russian aid to Iran putting in danger American lives. Literally, Russia seems to be aiding our enemy actively and intensively with intelligence and perhaps with other means. And China also may be assisting.
And we know that President Trump
You're
did
not
speak
surprised with
to
that.
the Russian president. Anything more you could add to that?
Well, Dana, I can't confirm or deny intelligence reports that Russia or China might be helping Iran with targeting details, for instance. But I can say it sounds like the kind of thing they would do. Soviet Russia did this throughout the Cold War. Putin's Russia is no different in this regard. I would say that right now, if you hear what he's been saying and posting on social media, it's probably not a good time for another country to be messing around with Donald Trump. I'm sure he conveyed that to Vladimir Putin. I'm sure his senior officials like Marco Rubio and John Ratcliffe have been conveying it to their counterparts as well. Russia and China, if they were to provide any assistance to Iran, are playing with fire.
Senator, we understand you've just sent a letter to the Department of Energy. You want some answers
Wow.
on the Biden administration's siphoning and withdrawing of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve back in 2021, 2022. Can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, Bill, it's just another example of how the Democratic Party is not serious about the threats from Iran. Back in 21 and 22, when the Biden administration and congressional Democrats had unleashed record inflation, their solution was to draw down the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. That reserve was not designed to help Democrats out of a political jam of their own making. It was literally designed and created after the oil shock in the 1970s. Yet we don't have enough oil in the reserve right now. We even had a proposal.
I don't know how we
during
don't have enough.
the debate over the COVID pandemic relief
They were
legislation
taking
to buy
Venezuela.
oil when it was only about $20 or $25 a barrel.
Man,
Chuck
this is gonna
Schumer
take a
blocked
while.
that because he didn't want to have any profit going to the oil companies. Guess what? They don't make a lot of profit at $20 and $25 a barrel. So you see this repeated pattern over the years of the Democrats
true.
playing politics with the oil and gas industry.
But they
basically
shouldn't
trying to
be
shut it
jacking up the
down,
prices like that.
using the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for their own political benefit. And now we simply don't have enough oil there.
Senator Cotton, it's always good to see you, and thank you for giving us your time.
Thanks, Senator.
Our audience appreciates it too. Thank you.
That is crazy. The fact that we have
Be sure to like and
we don't have that much oil in our reserves. That sounds very stupid. That sounds stupid. All right, let's keep it moving.
By an Iranian military commander saying ships belonging to the United States or Israel in the Strait of Hormuz are legitimate targets. The new threats come the same day 3 vessels were reportedly hit by projectiles in the strait. Let's bring in Fox News contributor and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Mr. Secretary, good to see you. So Dan Kane was asked about the possibility, the potential of U.S. military ships escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz, as we saw many decades ago. Here's what he said.
On the potential, if tasked to escort, we'll look at the range of options to set the military conditions to be able to do that. What are the resources required? What is the command and control required? And what are the risks? And how do we mitigate those risks? We'll figure out how to solve problems as they come to us.
Mr. Secretary, they had to know that this was probably going to be necessary. So why are they just trying to figure this out now?
John, great to be with you. And Sandra, look, I don't think for a moment they're just figuring this out now. They're getting ready. They're doing the necessary in the same way that they set the field, set the defense so that we could knock down ballistic missiles and drones, right? Took several weeks to get all of that in place. They're now putting in place the work so that we can safely escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. No, the military planning for this is years in the making. We know precisely how to do it. There is more work that needs to be done to take out Iranian capabilities so that we can do so safely. But you heard the threats on American ships traveling through there, John. We shouldn't forget those threats have been around for decades.
Yep.
The very reason
Before I was
President Trump
born.
is having to do what we're doing is because they have threatened to close this strait time and time again and held American hostage and say, no, don't come get them because we'll blow your stuff up. This is very necessary. The right approach is being taken. It's methodical.
They've been
Just 11
hostile
days in,
since
John.
79.
Lots more work to do. And when we do, we'll get the strait reopened. We'll do so safely. And we will have punished an Iranian regime that has taken so much toll on American life for so very long.
General Jack Keane was on with Larry Kudlow yesterday, and General Keane said now is not the time to be putting American ships in harm's way to transit the Straits of Hormuz. Listen to what he said.
If we start to bring our warships through right now, the Iranians still have the capability to range those ships.
Yeah, I
with
wouldn't storm
precision
in there
weapons.
yet.
And that makes no sense in terms of the risk when we're going to finish them off entirely in a few weeks.
So the general is suggesting take the economic hit now, get the military goals and objectives accomplished in Iran, and then reopen the strait. What do you think of that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, as usual, General Keen's spot on. The sequence
We don't need to
matters. I think
rush,
that's actually what you
rush
heard
the ships in there. We
the
don't need
general
to
saying
put our
about getting ready, doing the
assets
risk
in the
mitigation
strait.
work that is necessary. So we will sequence this. We'll finish the mission. I think when you saw the announcement earlier today asking or directing civilians to get out of ports, I think that is very much part of this effort to set the conditions so that we can actually deliver to get oil and refined products flowing through the strait again. I'm very confident our military can execute this. It's just going to take a little bit of patience, a little bit of time. And in the meantime, markets will do what markets will do, and there'll be some difficult high gasoline prices for a moment. But we should never forget the ultimate objective, right? The goal there is to reduce the risk that's been sitting on us for an awfully long time.
So the new supreme leader,
There's a lot of boats out there. They got to blow.
Khamenei, there are reports that he is
blowing up every single
severely
boat.
injured. I mean, so much so that he wasn't able to attend his own inauguration the other day. What do you know potentially about that?
Yeah, I just know what's been reported, but I also know who he is, right? He's in his mid-50s, somebody we studied when I was at the CIA a lot. We were thinking about who might be the next successor, even if it had been Khamenei had died from natural causes. So we know this guy. He is a hardliner. He has stolen lots of money. He has killed lots of people. He is deeply tied to the worst of the worst inside the Iranian regime. It doesn't surprise me at all that they selected him. But I think there is something up, right? We haven't seen him. What do new leaders always do?
Take him out.
Right? They go out and tell the people, I'm with you. This is tough times, but I'm your leader. And we've not seen hide nor hair of him. That suggests that something is up, that something's not normal, something's not right, and that he either has such fearing that of appearing, or he is badly injured, or perhaps, who knows, may not even still be around. It's just simply hard to know, given the fact that he has not come out since his anointment, his selection, and actually declared that he is the leader of the country.
You would think that even if he was in a hospital bed, that they would prop him up and at least get a picture out there, some sort of video. Instead, they had that cardboard cutout with his face on it the other day.
Yeah, no, John, you're exactly right. That's well said.
All right, Mr. Secretary, it was good to catch up with you. We will see what's going on, but certainly lots of rumors surrounding Mojtaba Khamenei and whether or not he is actually still with us. Appreciate the time, sir.
I don't know. I know he's not doing well. Let me see if I could. I'm gonna see if I could upload a picture real quick, so you can see this Khamenei, whatever his name is, because I don't care. But let me see if I can add. I should be able to do this, and we're just gonna have a good laugh, because we need a good laugh. Like, we really need a good laugh. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's like a whole process. It's like behind the scenes type of thing. A lot of people would edit this out. I'm not, because I don't even got the patience to even do that. I don't edit any of my videos. The only videos I do, well, it's not really edit, but it's like, it's attachments, but the shorts, because I put like video form of the last card I pull. So if it's a hollow, then I put, I didn't hit, so I just put a little video so it could be a little entertaining at the end. I hope a lot of people have been liking it. A lot of people have been watching the shorts, and I thank all of them who watch my shorts. But a lot of people are watching them. A lot of people like the Pokemon stuff, so I'm gonna provide a lot because, as you can see, there's a lot of Pokemon around me. So the Pokemon is everywhere. Let me see if I can find this picture though. Yeah, I have it right here. Oh Lord, StreamYard, it's just getting on my nerves. They just get on my nerves. That's all they ever do. It's just, it boots me out. I'm like trying to freaking add this damn picture, and it boots me out. Hopefully, it doesn't do it this time. Trying to do it fast. It's like, I want to get this picture uploaded. Now it's saying upload is taking too long. This might be a connection issue or this unusual fix by trying again. Feel free to contact us if you need help. StreamYard, y'all getting on my motherfucking nerves. No, wake up the beast. I'm trying to be nice tonight. No, that's not. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to add this damn picture. It knows it wants me to add the picture because it's not letting me. But it's going to upload. And I'm going to show you guys. This is the Himimi guy. What's his name? I don't know what's his name. Help me out with that. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys what this guy looks like, okay? So the new Ayatollah, I believe, the Ayatollah non-rock-and-roller, because he's not a rock-and-roller. He's a fucking piece of shit. But I'm going to show you guys what this guy looks like in a moment. So bear with me. I'm just working up, getting it set. And I think I got it. All right. You guys ready for this? In 3, 2, 1. Give it a second. Oh no, we can't see him. It's a paper guy. Like that's to me what he looks like. He's a paper cut up paperboard here. I gotta run this through another way to be able to see it better because it really did not pick it up good. So let's go back to my stars and bring me back. Give me 1 sec here. Here we go. But there's a cardboard cutout of him. Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. I gotta do some work behind the scenes, do some editing. It shouldn't take me long. I'm pretty quick on this. Where's the picture at? My goodness, I gotta find it now. Shit. This is not the easy part. Okay, where was that? Okay. I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. Oh no. Hold on. Here it is. Let me see if I can edit this. How can I do this? If I can make it sideways. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. So I'm getting Gronk to help me out with this. It's like, Gronk, you gotta help me, dude. Trying to get this this dude in a cardboard cutout properly. Okay, that's it. Let's see if it image. Hopefully I could get it. Well, while I'm working on this, let's continue on with the news so I can show you guys a better image hopefully, if I could get it, have faith in me. Please have faith in me. All right, guys, let's continue on with the news. Set this up again. Here we go.
So new reporting just coming in of a warning to law enforcement in California from the FBI that Iran could retaliate against U.S. strikes by launching drones at the West Coast. This is coming from ABC News reporting. National correspondent Matt Finn joining us live from our LA bureau. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Martha. So there is this ABC report that the FBI has warned police departments here in California that Iran could launch a drone attack somewhere on the West Coast, possibly targeting California. This drone attack could, potentially come from an unidentified vessel. Well, I've talked to some LAPD sources who say so far LAPD has not been made aware of any credible drone threats here in Los Angeles. One LAPD source tells Fox News that there has not been any change in the department's posture in relation to any possible drone threat. The FBI is not commenting on the report about a possible drone threat either. Now, Fox News inquired with Governor Newsom's office, who did give us this statement that reads, the Governor's Office of Emergency Services is actively working with state, local, and federal security officials to protect our communities. Now, LAPD sources say that the federal government's warning to local agencies here about the possibility of an Iranian drone threat could have been under that general umbrella of death to America and not a specific targeted threat. We are actively looking into this reporting, Martha, and we'll keep you updated.
All right, Matt Finn, thank you very much.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
All right, I'm still working on this picture. I'm working on this picture, so let's go watch some Liberal Hive Mind.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day brought to you by FiveMind.com. One of the most revealing things about modern left-wing politics is just how quickly it turns authoritarian. The absolute second that you refuse to participate in their little ideological game. The left endlessly talks about freedom, tolerance, inclusion, democracy, all the buzzwords. And boy, do they love pointing the finger at the other side and claiming the other side's fascist. They tried even pegging Donald Trump as an anti-free speech president. Meanwhile, he got elected and all of a sudden it felt like free speech was restored. All of a sudden we could tell the truth on YouTube and not be looking over our shoulders anymore. And that's a real thing, by the way. I had so many issues with YouTube. Like, you can't even believe, even outside of this YouTube channel. And then the moment Donald Trump got elected, the second he got elected, all of a sudden, all my problems just magically went away. You're going to tell me that's a coincidence? That that's the president who's anti-free speech? It's a complete joke. And obviously, the problem when it comes to free speech, it presides on the left. Because the second you say something that they don't like, suddenly the conversation stops being about persuasion and it starts, headed towards the realm of punishment. Speech codes, hate speech laws, platform bans, career destruction, legal threats. It's the same instinct from all of these frickin' tyrannical leftoids. If you do not believe as I do, you do not deserve a voice. Some of these people even do it to their own family members. I disown you as a father because of your voting patterns, sir. It's the highest level of hypocrisy. And I got a viral video that I think really shows just how instinctual it is for these leftists. Here's a viral clip from the beaches of California. Let me show you guys exactly what happened and the more meta point behind it all. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I want to show you guys this clip here. Here's, I guess, just a regular everyday encounter on the beaches of California. Take a look.
Sir, what do we think of Nick Fuentes? What pronouns are she, hers? Sir, what do you think of Nick Fuentes?
She or hers means I'm a woman. Every
Does.
time you say sir is a felony in the United States of America, California, where we live. It is. It is. You need to look it up. You need to read. It literally is. You need to read. Have it read to you. Find someone who can read what that means.
Find someone who can
Sir,
read.
that is not a felony. Not a felony, sir.
You're wrong and dangerous wrong.
Why is it dangerous?
That's wrong. Pronoun abuse is wrong, stupid. In your career, whatever the you think you are.
Thank you, sir. We love the support from the trans community.
That last support?
Sir, we can't hear you.
Have a nice day, sir. Felony one. Anybody else want to commit a serious hate crime?
Call the cops then, sir.
California.
911.
You can never be doing what you're doing at all.
Then do it. Call the cops then if it's a felony.
You look stupid. We misgendered them.
Well, I guess the trend continues. It's 2026, and we've got another "It's Ma'am" video.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
You know, just take a second to absorb that video, to really let it marinate in your mind. And I feel like most of us are probably going to come to the same conclusion. We're thinking about just how absolutely insane this entire dynamic is. One word, and the immediate reaction is you should be punished by the state. You have committed a hate crime, a felony hate crime, and you should now lose your freedom. And obviously we know the argument. Well, it's not just one word. It's a microaggression. It's hate speech. You're not affirming that person's gender. All of that. Heard it? Don't care. There's a lot of things that are offensive. People have said all kinds of things to me that are offensive. The other day, some guy in traffic rolled his window down in a bout of road rage and said some truly horrendous stuff. Do I then call the police and try to get that person arrested for a hate crime? No, of course not. You know what I do? I realize some people can't drive. Some people have no brain, no temper, no class, no culture. They've got low IQs, no prefrontal cortex, no ability to control emotion. And so I simply nod my head, good day, sir. And then I keep driving along like a normal freaking human being. Oh, that was a great story you had there, pal. I didn't know that about myself. I didn't know I was expletive, but I'll just continue along my merry way. That's called adult behavior. And time again, what we see from the modern left is that they're a bunch of entitled, petulant children. And entitled, petulant children should be in charge of nothing. You know, basically the left-wing worldview these days is something akin to like Prince Joffrey from Game of Thrones. I have been offended. Take off his head. They talk about misgendering, hate speech, the same way authoritarian regimes talk about ideological crimes. You didn't say the approved language. You don't have the approved political opinion. You didn't affirm our left-wing doctrine. Therefore, you have committed an offense, and it's no longer just a disagreement anymore. No, it's a violation. And the craziest part, instantly, that's where their brain goes. You committed a felony. You're now a felon. You've now got a criminal record. Arrest this man. Their first instinct is to jump straight towards criminalization of speech. And that, my friends, that is the part that should terrify people. Because once you open that door, you know, the idea that saying a word is wrong and it should be illegal, well, that's a slope that becomes very slippery very fast. Today it's pronouns, tomorrow it's political opinions. And really, we were already there, right? That's how they were trying to start this authoritarian system. We remember Joe Biden's administration labeling misinformation as something dangerous, as something the government had to get involved with. And that's exactly what they did. And then they immediately weaponized it to win an election. I mean, come on. This stuff is so obvious. And it's also so obvious that this is the character disposition of the left. Look at social media platforms. Look at Reddit. That is the left-wing ideological playground. That is the place of the activist left. And we all know what happens if you step outside the approved narrative, even a little bit, on any of their big subreddits. They control all the big ones. Your comment gets deleted or you get banned. People get depersoned just digitally, silenced, erased. There's no debate. It's the same thing that the Soviets did to people, right? Disappearing them and they end up in the gulags. It's the exact same thing. It's just digital form. It's authoritarian light. And now most people would use that to kind of, you know, like brush the whole thing off. Well, apples to oranges. Banning people on Reddit's not the same thing as sending somebody to the gulags. But don't be so naive. I mean, do you really believe that if these far leftoids held absolute supreme power, that if they controlled every institution of government, that they wouldn't do the exact same thing? They wouldn't be indoctrinating your children? Of course, they already are. They wouldn't use every power possible to ban books, to ban speech, to ban speakers, to ban ideas, ban words, to create all kinds of laws aimed at protecting the marginalized peoples. You know, the only thing that really needs protecting is your right to say things, to say what you truly believe, as long as you're not hurting anyone, that is. But it's very obvious the left doesn't believe in that. It's like this almost innate, this intrinsic biological kind of character archetype that's obsessed with control. They just kind of all cling to that side politically. And that's what's so ironic, you know, because they're always screaming about fascism, fascism this, fascism that. They see fascism everywhere. Every Republican that they see is, I mean, literally Hitler. Every policy they don't like is authoritarian, my rights. But if you actually look at how authoritarian thinking works, you've got control of language, punishment for ideological deviation, criminalization of dissent. You know, I'd say that these instincts, these character traits, they show up far more on the left than I'd say they do on on the right. And that clip was a clear example, but it's also one example of thousands upon thousands, possibly even millions. It's happening every single day on a micro level. Reddit, Blue Sky, what we've experienced on social media platforms before Elon Musk bought Twitter, before Donald Trump won the election again. I mean, come on. It's as clear as freaking day. And if we're fighting fascism, if you're truly Antifa, well, then you can't go close to anything left-wing with the 10-foot pole. That's what I truly believe. That's why all these Antifa characters have no credibility in my eyes. They are the freaking fascists. The irony is in the name, and I just feel like it couldn't be any more clear. Anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, so this brings back to me. I did get the video. I put a little video. It was hard to put it, man, because it's like, I don't know. It just wasn't a good video, but I want you guys to check it out now. In 3, 2. That's the cardboard. That's the cardboard I was telling you guys about. There it is. This is the new Ayatollah of not rock and roller. Himimi, whatever, Kabibi, whatever you want to call him. I call him the cardboard man because that's what they brought out to represent their leader, a cardboard cutout. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that shit? Oh, let's bring it back to me. Oh, Lord. I can't make this shit up. I just don't, you know. We're all witnesses to what's going on, and sometimes shit is just hilarious. All right, let's keep it moving with the news. We got a couple of more to go, and we'll be wrapping up the show. Trying to keep it under 2. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I went over yesterday. I think I'm gonna go over today. Here we go. Let's set this up. Here we go.
Iran's sports minister claims the country cannot participate in the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup. The tournament is being jointly held by the US, Canada and Mexico, but their first 2 games were scheduled to be held in the United States. As Rob Harris explains, there are concerns after some of Iran's women's team were granted asylum here in Australia.
Haven't already seen Donald Trump encourage Australia to help grant asylum for the female players. What will they be thinking about the tournament this summer, playing on the West Coast in the group stage where there's a strong diaspora population from Iran? Could there be anti-regime protests there? This has plunged FIFA right into the midst of this geopolitical situation, perhaps of their own making, because it was just in December. I was in Washington, D.C. when Gianni Infantino handed the newly created FIFA Peace Prize to Donald Trump. Now you've got a World Cup host bombing one of the teams due to participate in the tournament. And Infantino was at the White House last night, and he said after the meeting with Trump that during the discussions, President Trump reiterated that the Iranian team is, of course, welcome to compete in the tournament. Well, just a week ago, Trump was saying he doesn't care if Iran comes or not. So it's a very complicated situation. It raised questions about what would the consequences of them withdrawing be.
Well, what's going to happen is this is what Iran's afraid of, that they're going to defect. They're going to, and the United States is going to grant them asylum. You know, because it's political. It's like it's their country's a shit. It's falling apart. They're being bombarded, and let's continue. We got some more news about the soccer because, AKA football, for around the world. Us in America, they call it soccer. So set this up here. Here we go.
Meanwhile, a total of 6 members of the Iranian women's soccer team has been granted asylum. Will be staying in Australia after one team member changed her mind, deciding to return to Iran.
Brian Yennis is live in London with the latest for us. Brian?
Good morning. Well, Fox News has obtained new video capturing the moment after the Iranian women's soccer team's staff, security, and handlers realized that 5 of their players had just escaped their hotel for asylum in Australia. The video was shot by an activist confronting a man they believe to be affiliated with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Watch.
Yeah, IIGC. No, it's Australia now. You're in Australia. You're in Australia. You better run.
These Iranian handlers were running in the stairwell of the hotel to try to get to the parking garage, but the door was locked. Australian federal police removed the 5 players to a safe location where they were granted humanitarian visas. A 6th player and a team staffer also decided to stay in Australia, but one of those women spoke to her teammates and decided to return home instead. The rest of the team arrived in Malaysia as they make their way back to Iran. Australian politician and Iranian activist Tina Kordjostami, who led the asylum push, tells Fox the players were coerced to go back to Iran, their phones tapped, and at least one player had their family detained in Iran.
Wow.
These women got back on that plane for their family. They know their family is at risk. They know that they are not safe. They also know that they're
All because of a
going to
game.
potentially lose any notion of a future in football. They probably will be facing very severe prosecutions as well.
Iranian state media called these women war traitors for not saluting and singing the Iranian national anthem at their first Asian Cup soccer game last Monday in protest against the regime. Kordjostami says too many athletes around the world are not recognizing their bravery.
There's a lot of women in the West as well. They're choosing to remain silent on Iran and the women in Iran. For a lot of them, it's about not wanting to be Islamophobic. Even though women in Iran have said time and time again, it's not about religion, it's about coercion, it's about being forced.
Activists say they are feeling dejected this morning. They believe all of those women should have stayed in Australia. Guys,
Right.
Yeah, but they have their families back there. They torture their
They
family.
all
These
should
people,
stay.
the players are in an impossible situation. Thanks, Brian. They said the Iranian team was spotted boarding the plane. All the players were in tears. They were getting on the plane because they know
Wow.
their life's never going to be the same. Yeah, they
Did you
fear
hear what
retaliation.
Did you hear what that activist said, though, that led the push? She goes, a lot of the athletes in the West, the women who have been vocal on all the other issues, don't want to comment on this because they don't want to be perceived as Islamic phobic. Like, stop it. I mean, that has nothing to
Stupid.
do with the conversation. These women are being oppressed.
Their lives
and
are in
literally,
danger.
Some of them are being drugged back onto the bus to go back to the country.
The players, when they stayed silent during that national anthem, it did attract the attention of the hardliners back at home. And there was one person on state media that was calling them wartime traitors. And then when Australia was trying to offer asylum to them, they conducted security checks just to make sure that they were able to keep them in Australia. And they said after the bus rolled up to the terminal, up to the airport, and there were a lot of tears, inside the terminal, Australian officials made their final efforts to try to convince them not to go back and to understand that Australia was offering them asylum. They were using interpreters to meet with each of the women. They were each taken off to the side at security with interpreters to explain that they don't have to go home. Some
But
of
their
them
family members are back home, and that's the problem. Their family will be tortured.
And now we don't know what happened to them. They got on the plane. Many of them got on the plane and they went back. And there's no way for us to know what's happening to them right now.
So check this out. If you read the editorial in today's New York Post, the headline is Megan Rapinoe's damning silence.
She's terrible.
She is calling out the men's hockey team for going to the White House. But where's her bravery
Zero.
talking about these female soccer players who refuse to sing their country's national anthem, and then felt that type of backlash? Jamel Hill, also of ESPN, formerly of ESPN, lost her job there. But the thing is, President Trump deserves credit here. President Trump was the first one to say, hey, Australia, offer them asylum. And if you don't, we will. We'll take in that soccer team. And then Australia changed their stance.
Yeah, just so they know, this is real oppression. Like, this is actually documented oppression. And it actually takes courage to stand with these women. They often pick the other
This is where
situations.
if you're anti-regime, you could get shot, 40,000 shots, some of them shot in the back just for going out and protesting. Also, remember, we're going to do the public hanging for that young guy in his 20s. Donald Trump got involved and said, if you do that,
That's
then
it.
we're coming after you. So they ended up not doing the public hangings in the last, a few weeks before this conflict began. Senator John Fetterman said this: in Iran, life is oppression and brutality. These courageous women were facing severe consequences, even their families threatened. How many of the people who criticized our men's hockey team condemned Iran's treatment of its women's soccer team?
He's right on the money. And by the way, you notice too, when they're talking with the Australians and they've decided to defect, the headdress is off. They're smiling because they don't want to do that. Women don't want to sit there in burqas and deny themselves any rights or stop going to school after 6th grade.
Not being able
That's
to drive.
what they're doing in Iran.
Not having a job.
I don't want to get involved in other people's way of governing. But there's no way anyone like Jane Fonda and everybody talking about human rights and women's rights, why don't they ever find time to speak out about other nations? They just seem to hate this country.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News.
And then pause this. Let's go ahead and move on. Actually, let me bring it to me because I had a add-on here. So there is an add-on. Let me, and I think it's important to listen to this because it's President Trump speaking. And this was something that happened this past week with Trump brutally tears into Barack Obama for politicizing the Jesse Jackson funeral. He went up there and it just turned political. It went from a funeral to a political. And Trump ripped into Obama. We're going to watch that now. So give me 1 second to set it up. I hope everyone's having a good night tonight, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you're at. While I'm here setting this up real quick on the fly. Here we go.
So a short time ago, under a man named Sleepy Joe Biden. Has anyone heard of him? Has anyone heard of him? How about Barack Hussein Obama? He went to Jesse Jackson's funeral. He spoke, and it was like a political hit job. And the family of Jesse Jackson got angry as hell at him because they understand they hated each other. It was, but I loved watching that. That was so. The family goes outside and they start screaming at him.
All right, found out. But yeah, Trump rips into President Barack Obama. Look at these fakes. Look how fake. Let me pause this. Look at all. Do I have this big? Let me make it big so you can see all these fake asses. Like, look at these fake ass people. Jesse Jackson did not like any of these motherfuckers. Like, look at Hillary laughing, Bill's laughing, Obama's laughing. This Jill bullshit. Why is Biden sitting back here? Like, wouldn't he be more like, I don't know, closer to the presidents? So it makes it like Jill was president, But why are they laughing and nobody else is laughing? Like, look all around. Look at this one back here. She's probably looking at her phone. This one's looking at the stars. This one over here is looking at this guy's head. This one over here is not impressed. Like, no one's really paying attention back here, but then you have these buffoons smiling. Like, look at them all laughing. Look at this face. Who the fuck is this person? Is that Biden? That motherfucker looks like something's wrong with him. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Who the fuck is this? Look at the cheeks. Like, this is a really bad mask. Whoever put this mask on, look at the chin. It looks young, right? And then look at this face. What the fuck happened? Man, they let that mask, like, I don't know what mask they put on this motherfucker, but holy shit. This is crazy. And look at Jill. She's laughing. I don't know why they're laughing because they're not even, like, what's so funny? Like all of them laughing at the same time. What was the joke? I don't know what was the joke. All right, let's keep it moving. It's just pissing me off because like you see these fucking clowns, the 5 little clowns here, and they're all giggling, and Jesse Jackson did not even like any of them. So this is a big time hypocrisy, big time hypocrites. These are like they're doing this for political points. They're trying to put themselves front and center and get the attention, and the attention should have been on Jesse Jackson. But as you can see, President Trump didn't even go to this funeral because he knew it was a political hit job right here. And why he's going to put himself in this political nightmare theater. Like, Jesse Jackson didn't like these people. So why are they sitting front and center at his funeral? Why are they sitting in the front? And why the family is not sitting at the front? You know what I mean? But fucking Biden doesn't even look like Biden. What the fuck is wrong with his cheeks? He gives me like that Jim Carrey, that fake Jim Carrey from France look. Like that's what it looks like. And the mask is like it didn't fit right. Like they probably got somebody else to sit in, and it just you could tell it just doesn't even look like him. Who the fuck is this? I'm sorry to tell you, I'm sorry about my French, but who the fuck are you? I don't know. That's one, I don't know. And then why are they laughing? And then nobody else is laughing. Look, this one's serious, looking down. This one's looking down. This one's looking to the side. This one's just conversating with this guy here. Like, look at the behind them. Look at everyone. This one's not even. This one's talking. This lady is talking to this guy here, and this one back here is not really even looking. This one right here is looking at her phone because her eyes are down and looking at the phone. This lady looking to the side, like, okay, everyone's like, and then why are they laughing? What was the joke? Oh, they are the joke. Okay, I get it. All right, let's keep it moving. I can't play the sounds. Oh, don't tell me this bitch showed up. Are you kidding me? Oh no. Oh no. Wow. Following Jackson's death, Obama, former President Joe Biden, and former Vice President Kamala Harris used the memorial to speak about politics. It's a fucking funeral. And they came in with their politics. She looks like she had a couple of drinks already. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that face. It's just too happy to be in a funeral and to be this happy while the family is like hurt and already like are probably pissed the fuck off because they have to sit through this political campaign in the middle of their family member's funeral. I just don't fucking get it. Let's move forward. Keep on moving. Oh, I know the family was pissed. Wow, look at that. He requested for them not to get political, but then Obama, Harris, and Biden, however, ignored Jackson Jr.'s request and slammed on the Trump administration. So in front of Jesse Jackson's body, they wanted to go political on Trump. You know, Jesse Jackson was a very good friend of Donald Trump. Oh, did you guys not know that? Oh, and they were really good friends. Oh, everyone forgot about that. But yet the Democrats are running to his funeral to go speak on their politics. You know, Jesse Jackson shouldn't be laying in that casket. It should be Joe Biden. And possibly that might be Joe Biden in there because I don't know who the fuck the other Joe Biden sitting on the crowd is. That motherfucker looked like the Joker. And not even he looked like the Joker that when they got melted. Like, what happened to your cheeks, dude? I don't know, but something's not right. Let's keep it moving. What the fuck is this? I gotta stop it. You know, I'm gonna stop it because this is a lot of songs and music, so I get to play around with this video. What the fuck is this? What is this? What's wrong with his cheeks? Who is this guy? Like, this is a really bad mask. Whoever's wearing this is a very bad mask. Something's just not right with this. Ooh, no. Mm-mm. Oh, Obama with his finger. It kind of reminds me of the ISIS finger. Don't ISIS put up their fingers like that? Didn't the bomber that just tried to attack the police and the people that were pretty much protesting against Islam, when he got out of, well, they were walking him out of the jail or out of the precinct, and they did like the perp walk to put him in the vehicle. He put up the finger just like that, and it's like kind of like an alliance to the ISIS. It's like they align with ISIS. They align with that that bullshit from over there. That's what that reminds me of. That finger. I wonder what he does with that finger. Ugh. I really don't want to know. Ugh. Come here, Michael. Oh no. Oh God. Michael's like, no, I don't want no more of that finger. But as you can see here, following the service, Jackson Jr. slammed the Democrats and claimed they did not know Jesse Jackson. Like, he straight up, because that's his son. This is Jesse Jackson's son. He knows his father more than anything. And his father's devastated. Look at the family house. They're consoling him, you know, and he slams the Democrats. He slams them because they don't know who he was. He did not like the Democrats. He did not like, especially Obama. He did not like any of those clowns, especially Biden. That's another motherfucking, he looks like the fucking clown. He is the clown of the show. But he did not like Clinton. He did not like Hillary. He was not a part of that bullshit. But, you know, they want to go there and play pretend. And like, yeah, we were best friends. You remember? If you don't remember, I'll fucking kill you. Like, what? They just threatened me. Yeah. It's kind of normal for the Clintons to threaten you. That's why they were laughing at fucking Jesse Jackson's funeral. All together. Yeah, he slammed them. Hopefully we'll have a video of him talking about it. Hopefully it's in this video. If not, because this is a 10-minute long video. And I'm not going to go 10 minutes just talking about what's going on here. But the thing is, like, they make Trump into the bad guy. He's the racist. He's the like, are you kidding me? Oh, like, political clown show. The Democrats turned it into a political clown show. Okay, let's listen in.
Was held for the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. He rose to prominence alongside Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement. And instead of mourning him, the Democrats turned this into a divisive political clown show. Here was Barack Obama.
We're living in a time when it can be hard to hope. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others, and that some don't even count at all. Everywhere we see greed and bigotry being
This guy
and bullying
did not do this at a funeral.
and mockery masquerading as strength. We see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption
reading from the paper.
are reaping untold rewards every single day. We see that, and it's hard to hope.
My God, give it up. I mean, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, they did the same. And Stella, it was so embarrassing. Have a listen to Jesse Jackson's son. This is Jesse Jackson Jr. He lashed out at the politicization.
I listened for several hours of 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson.
You know, Stella, Obama and co, they politicized a memorial for their own agenda, their own Trump derangement syndrome on full display. How disrespectful to do this at an event, mourning an American icon.
Yeah, but it's on par. They'll take an opportunity whenever they can. Kamala Harris, I think she showed up and she was speaking in a different accent as well, because that was, this is what she does. When she was on the political campaign, all of a sudden, you know, she's in the South, she has a Southern accent. But I'm so happy that you aired that sound with the son, because the family came out right after Jesse Jackson passed away. And this same son said, I just don't want this to be about politics when we go to the funeral. So he kind of put people on notice. And then afterwards, he said that. So I'm really happy that you mentioned it, because guess what? The story got buried in the mainstream media. A shocker. This story got buried in the mainstream media. But yes, very disrespectful. And this is what they do. They found the stage and they thought this was the right audience at the right time. And they went for it.
Yep, they always hijack things for their own political gain. They're a bunch of idiots, seriously. And we're going to talk about Kamala Harris, because you mentioned the phony accents. We've actually got it to play for our viewers. Here she was, putting it on as she always does. Have a listen.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now.
Oh, no. What is going on?
I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming.
Oh my God.
Seriously, she is so cringe. And this one comes with a trigger warning to our viewers, because she's back again with the same old word salads. Look at this.
Understand, as has been said, the beauty that comes after the storm, when we see what is possible and what can be unburdened by what has been.
No!
As he once said, when a barrier falls for one of the locked out, it opens the doors for all. And that is what he told me, and what he taught me, and how he inspired me.
Who's he?
Oh no, Stella. Unburdened by what has been. It's back. What? It's back. She's brought it back.
She brought it back. I think she wants to go viral. I'm like, what did she, do you know what she said? Because I have no idea.
No, I've got no clue. No.
I have no idea. But again, I told you, when she was on the campaign trail, I think she went, she was in 2024 at a Labor Day speech in Detroit. She made she had a different accent. In Atlanta, she had a different accent. She flip-flops when needed. But what's interesting though is, she really, up until, the Democrat Party told her that she had to really embrace the Black side of her, she became Black. But really, she's Indian, right? She was raised by an Indian mother. That is like her whole heritage. And there's videos of her being like, I'm Indian. I'm like really being proud about her Indian culture, which is great. But then the Democrat Party was like, all right, we're gonna pivot here. You're now gonna be Black. And so I just find it interesting, because you could be whoever you are, like be who you are, but be authentic and be real. And constantly having these different accents, and then saying you're this and then saying you're that. It's like, it's playing up to your audience, and there's nothing authentic about it.
No, nothing authentic about it. And I say, good luck. If the Democrats are going to make her run, fantastic, please.
Yes,
please. Do us all a favor. Do Donald Trump a favor. Exactly. We can't wait to be burdened by what has been once again. Now, before we let you go, we've got to talk about Joe Biden. After seeing this clip, and I mean, there's been some clips of him lately, but I just think to myself, why is he still being allowed to make public appearances? Have a look at this.
If I told you all earlier, when I was a kid, I had a cleft palate or a club foot, none of you would have laughed. But it's okay to laugh at stuttering. I'm not being critical of you, but think about it. It's the one place where people think you're stupid. Oh, really? I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you. But all kidding aside.
Look, Stella, seriously, get him off the stage, please. It's now at the point where it's beyond elder abuse. They need to tell him to stand down and to stop speaking.
I have to tell you, it's really sad. I've been in media and American media here, for over 20 years. And the gaslighting was so real. Like, you're not actually seeing what you're seeing. Don't believe your lying eyes. When we started talking about it and saying, like, hey, is there something wrong with him? Like, he can't even walk up the stairs, or he's riding a bike and he's falling. And we were all told and gaslit by the mainstream media, like, oh my God, you guys are horrible people. You guys are horrible people. And signing bills, like I know when Trump came into office, he has a picture of Biden, which is the auto pen in the administration there. But really, honestly, yeah, this comes down to elder abuse, and it's just really sad. That's what if that was my grandfather, like I would say, like, I think it's enough. It's not funny. These videos go viral. Take care of this man. Like, give him some respect at this point. Really, it's just sad. I have to, from a human perspective, and I'm looking at this, if this was my father, my grandfather, I'd be like, don't do this to him anymore.
No, I'm with you. And the sad part is Jill Biden. She's probably at the the bottom of the stairs, going, "Well done, you did so well." And I think that she's a massive part. Yeah, you did it. Yeah. Exactly. Stella Escobedo, it has been absolutely wonderful having you on the program. Thank you so much for your time and your insights. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Wow, I am in shock. Are you guys in shock? I mean, I did not watch the funeral or anything like that because there's other things going on in the world. But the fact that we're getting like what happened at the funeral, and they went, like, there was a political like rally at a funeral, at Jesse Jackson's funeral. They went political. I thought this was about Jesse Jackson and his life at the funeral. Why were they not talking about Jesse Jackson? Why would they go and just talk about Trump like that? That's very disturbing. That's so disrespectful. All right, let's keep it moving.
Again, Mayor Mamdani moving closer to making his progressive dream a reality. His campaign promise to make New York City home to the nation's highest minimum wage is now headed to City Council for approval. If passed, minimum wage would nearly double in the Big Apple by 2030, jumping from $17 an hour today to $30 an hour. Mom and pop shops say that with already sky-high rent and rising costs, this pay hike could be the final straw and force them to cut jobs. Larry Kudlow, explain why minimum wage does, or I'm assuming in your opinion, does not work.
I think he should have gone right to 50.
What a cheapskate.
You know what I mean? But I mean, look, these guys are working off
Because they could
margins
tax
that are
more,
very
that's
small. Urban stores. I mean, except for some of the fancy European stores. But your basic mom and pop store doesn't have much of a profit margin. So you're going to have to pay labor. It's hard to they're not going to have the productivity gains to keep unit labor costs down.
$30 an hour?
I mean, you should let the market should set the wage price. The market should set the clearing price of whatever goods or services you're buying. It's just crazy stuff. It's socialist stuff, but
But what fascinates me, Brian, is that the messaging works. People hear higher wage and they think, yes, power to the people, but they don't understand the ripple effects.
Yeah.
But then if McDonald's has to pay $30 an hour instead of 17,
they're getting out.
The price of my hamburger also doubles because they can't afford labor costs.
So $20 for a Big Mac meal.
And then I get paid $30 an hour, but then the price of the burger that I want to buy has also doubled. But that messaging doesn't sound as good. And so people don't understand that.
I feel like this appeals to the
NYU student who's taken like 2 quasi-Marxist economics classes,
Right.
and they think this works, but they haven't tested it in the real world, so they're all in on Zoran. But we talk about, so okay, what is this going to do? And we have the AI conversation. Will
Yeah,
AI kill
it
jobs
was
or create
really
jobs? And I think it's going to
impact the
create jobs
economy
overall.
there.
But the area where I do
Not in a
think it
good
will
way.
team up with policy and kill jobs is this. Yes, there are moms and pops that may not be able to employ AI, but then you've got that whole layer of retail where it's actually like national or multinational retail, and they have operations here. And they see this, and they've got 10 companies with an AI solution breathing down their neck saying, if you don't want to pay $30 an hour, I've got a way for you to do inventory and stocking and tracking and customer service, and you don't need any people. And AI is going to get a toehold, and I don't blame AI for doing this, but that their salespeople are calling these companies right now and saying, we can help you avoid the cost of this. And those companies are going to say 100%. Yes. And Zoran's going to blame AI, and he's going to want to regulate AI. And the problem isn't AI, it's you.
Jackie.
So in the traditional scenario that you're describing with McDonald's, this shows that Zoran knows nothing about economics. I mean, I don't know how many more examples of that we actually need to know that he knows nothing. But you raise the prices and you actually make the affordability. You raise the wages, the prices go up, you make the affordability crisis worse. But this is really interesting what you're talking about, the AI solution sort of around it. In either scenario, it's a terrible scenario because if everybody's using AI, then you're killing jobs and people have no income.
Yeah.
So they're not actually sitting and thinking through this. But I go back to some of our spitballing around about this in the beginning, which is that if we have to test some of these ridiculous scenarios to understand how stupid they actually are, then that's what we're in for.
Well, can I just raise one point? There's something missing from this. The concept of profits, okay, which is alien to socialists. But if you're profitable, let's say your average labor cost is $10 and you might be profitable. All right, you might go to 15, might go to 20, but at some point you hit the break-even point, okay? The marginal cost exceeds the marginal revenue, so you have to fire them.
Right.
All right. Without profits, you have to lay off workers.
Or close your doors, right? I mean,
Or just go out of business altogether.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Move
Mandela
out.
or his socialist pals, I mean, it's not
Definitely
a
doesn't care
lexicon.
about that.
Right. They're not even thinking.
Profit is evil to them. It's evidence of evil.
You were
But if
talking.
you don't make money, you can't stay in business.
You were talking about what will be the reality check that will stop it. It's going to be businesses closing down. We were talking during the break about how wonderful eating is in New York City, and not only in people's houses, but these wonderful restaurants. They have, to be specific, I looked it up, they have a profit margin of 2 to 6%.
Yeah.
Most restaurants,
Tight.
2 to
That's
6%. And they want to double the labor costs. Labor is about 30 to 40% of the cost of having a restaurant. So they want to double. This would just put about half of the restaurants in New York out of business. Flat. There's a wonderful guy named Zane Tankel, who owned more Applebee's in New York area than anybody else. He owned 40 Applebee's. We used to have him on a lot. He's a wonderful guy. He said, to your point, Brian, this is what this will first do is to get people to immediately switch to all the AI devices that they could possibly get their hands on. Fire as many people as possible. So yes, people will be out of work, but eventually a lot of companies can't afford all the AI solutions. They can't afford all the tech solutions that would allow them to avoid paying people twice as much as they were. So they're going to go out of business. And New York will go down in quality. The quality of life in this city will suffer, not only for the residents like us, but for the tourists who come.
that's what they want. They don't want us here, David. That's the conclusion that I've come
They need
to.
the tourists.
They want
at least,
a low
and they won't come
quality of
either.
life, and that is their
Yeah.
dream of what
Larry's
a
going to
beautiful
Highland
city
Park.
looks like.
Esso.
Don't even
I'm
get me
Esso, Exxon, Esso. Remember the Esso service stations? They've just legally left New Jersey.
That's right.
Okay.
Put on the
Save it
hat.
for the next block.
Wow. Let's keep it moving.
Trump is speaking.
They are absolutely being destroyed. Iran is being absolutely decimated. That's all I can say.
President Trump, what have you heard about this bulletin that some law enforcement put out about a possible Iran revenge plot in California, where there would be some kind of a boat offshore launching drones towards the...
It's being investigated, but you have a lot of things happening. and all we can do is take them as they come. And the war itself is being prosecuted as well as anybody has ever seen. And this is other countries telling me too. Big countries, powerful countries. They said they've never seen anything like it. And they also agree with what I'm doing. They say it's an evil country, and it's been for 47 years that way.
And if they try to hit us back, have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. But we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think.
Is it dozens?
They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them. But the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Can you give us a timeline on when you're planning to tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, a timeline of when that could happen?
We're going to be doing it very quickly, and then we'll fill it up. We'll fill up our reserves. You know,
Yeah.
you remember I filled them up. And then
Imagine $30 an hour.
the highest level, a level that's never
That's
been
just crazy because everything's going to go up in price.
for $25.
Like
and it was turned down.
a meal that costs $15 now it's going to cost $30.
But not quite. But it was. We had a deal at $25.
Yeah, a hot dog already in New York is about $7. Imagine now it's $14 for one hot dog.
But they turned that down, and now it's.
You see, Mandani doesn't know economics. He doesn't. He did not major in economics. The guy doesn't know shit about nothing.
Well, we're going to be in very good shape. You see what's happening. They are pretty much at the end of the line. Doesn't mean we're going to end it immediately, but they are. They've got no Navy. They've got no Air Force. They've got no anti-air traffic, anything. They have no systems of control. We're just riding free range over that country. And now we're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats. They have some missiles, but not very many. I think we're in very good shape. The main thing is we have to win this thing, win it quickly, but win it. And there are many people, I'm just watching some of the news. Most people say it's already been won. It's just a question of when. When do we stop? We don't want to let it regrow. And ideally, would like to see somebody in there that knows what they're doing. In other words, they can build a country. Now, one other thing, we can hit sections of Tehran and other places that if you do it, it'll be almost impossible for them to rebuild their country. And we don't want that. But we can hit electric, we could take apart their electric capacity within 1 hour, and it would take them 25 years to rebuild it. So ideally, we're not going to be doing that. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for the question.
So that's where they're going to be hiding out. They're going to be hiding out in those electric stations because they know they're not going to get hit. All right, let's keep it moving. Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! This is at a barbershop. My, their business is done. Oh, that sucks. Someone call 911. No shit.
Call Daddy. Call Daddy. Call Daddy. I'm calling 911.
I'm like, damn, imagine you can't finish your haircut because of this shit. And you gotta be walking out looking like a mess. That's crazy. Look at this. Boom. I know someone ended up on the floor or something. What happened to that guy? The one that's on the chair. Oh, he just stood up. He just stood up and like just shook it off like nothing. What the hell?
Call daddy. Call daddy. Call daddy. I'm calling 911.
Yo, they're lucky that this car didn't go in deeper because it would have killed people. These individuals are very lucky.
Hey, you good, Christopher?
That is crazy. Let's keep it moving. The fuck is this? Look like fucking Jabba the Hutt. Where's Jabba? Jabba!
Okay, perfect. Report-wise, it just says just it's straight student transport. Okay. 99% sure at least.
Let's see what a teen accused of plotting school murder caught laughing in patrol car.
So I'll just tell them
Excuse me?
Okay. You got the
Excuse me?
report info?
Can you put my shirt
Website?
down? It's yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's comfortable. Is that better? Yeah.
And they're we're both in the report already.
Good? Yeah.
All right. Can I have a seat, please?
Are we gonna be in the same one?
What do you mean, same one?
Same jail?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What the hell? They're laughing?
Alrighty.
Wait, they went to his phone? No, they're going to go to his phone. Oh my god. Yeah. Hey, what are you doing here? No, he's gonna be arrested too. What? Why? Yes, I told him he knew. He didn't report me. I told him already. He did a tip? There was a tip shown. Did you not see it? Someone tipped. He snitched. I don't get why I wouldn't tell the police though. He did a tip though. Huh? Police, he did a tip though. Cause it was anonymous tip, but I was just assuming it by the writing. Yeah. Just like it was. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. God, I knew I shouldn't have told him. Cause he was like, "Oh, can you please tell me I can't sleep tonight?" You, God.
What the hell did I just witness? What the fuck? You think you've seen it all, but you haven't. And you got these girls happy that they're going to the same jail. I don't know. And they being charged with attempted murder or something. Those two, I believe. We could find out here. Give me 1 second because I can bring up another news feed on that. Fuck that! I need some more info on that because that left me so confused because that was from the police camera, so from within the vehicle. Now we're gonna get the report coming from the news. So if you're confused as I am, we'll get some clarity right about now.
Tonight, we are seeing two teens accused of making plans to kill one of their classmates, laughing in the back of a patrol car after their arrest. Investigators say the girls brought supplies and a knife to Lake Brantley High and were caught the morning of that planned attack. Your Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, has been following this story since the very beginning. And Catherine, this video is another disturbing moment in this case.
Absolutely. These girls are just 14 and 15 years old and facing capital felonies. Detectives say they planned to kill a boy who reportedly looked like the Sandy Hook school shooter. Investigators say one of them believed if she killed her classmate, she would have a blood bond that would resurrect the now deceased Sandy Hook shooter from the dead. This is the first time that we're seeing and hearing from both girls.
What the fuck? Oh, we're gonna watch this shit again?
Cameras captured the moment right after Isabel Valdez and Lois Lippert's arrest in January. This is video we're seeing publicly for the first time. Wednesday morning, it will be shown in court. Prosecutors plan on arguing it's one of the reasons why both girls should stay behind bars. This is a motion filed ahead of the pretrial detention hearing that says that patrol car recorded everything, how the 14 and 15-year-old were discussing how much prison time they might receive, how they plan to sharpen the knife they were going to use in the attack, and what their parents might think.
My mom's going to be yelling at me through the phone. What are you doing? Why are you trying to kill the kid?
Detectives say that Valdez planned to wait for a classmate in the bathroom, stab him or cut his throat, and then leave flowers and smoke a cigarette after the killing was complete. The plan was foiled by an anonymous tip that gave law enforcement the chance to intervene.
He f***ing snitched. God, I knew I shouldn't have told him. Because he was like, oh, can you please tell me I can't sleep tonight? You!
The video shows the pair joking during their car ride together, talking about how they would look for their mugshots and how they were supposed to spread their story around the true crime community.
Oh, you trying to look good for your mugshot?
Oh, am I going to get a mugshot?
What, we're going to jail? What do you think?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, I was going to do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but I couldn't find anything.
I'm glad.
What the fuck?
I look horrible. It's over.
Later, Valdez can be heard saying she thought she would be going to a psych ward.
Dude, I thought I was going to get sent to the psych ward. That's why I was so excited about everything. I think I would be so jolly if I was going to jail.
Another piece of evidence we're learning about tonight is a conversation between the two girls on Discord. Prosecutors say they shared messages there saying things like, quote, "It's going to be over by tomorrow," and "I hugged my parents extra tight today. I kind of feel bad for what's coming." Prosecutors also plan on bringing that up tomorrow at tomorrow morning's hearing. Lawyers representing the teens have also filed motions arguing that their clients are entitled to a bond. We'll let you know what a judge decides.
Are you fucking kidding me? Keep those bitches in jail. Hell no. The public is not safe with those girls, especially that boy. Whoever that boy is, boy, you're very lucky. All right, let's keep it moving.
Our top story tonight, chaos at a car wash in Marion County. Look at this.
Fucking Orlando's going crazy.
Teenager, you seen this video after he took down a man with an axe. That suspect you see right here is now battered, bruised, and behind bars. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
Good evening. I'm Luann Sorrell. Let's get out to Fox 35's Manny Martinez.
Oh
He's live tonight in Ocala. So, Manny, deputies were so impressed that they tried to recruit that teen.
Wow.
Luann says he got a call from them this morning asking him if he had any interest in a career in law enforcement. He says he told them, sorry, guys, but not right now, because he's already enlisted in the Army.
Watch as Leodan Pino lunges at and tackles a man who deputies say was armed with an axe. Pino pins the suspect down while a coworker grabs the axe. Then video shows Pino rotate the suspect into a chokehold.
That's a chokehold. That's it.
Deputies showed up to find Pino, who's just 18 and recently enlisted, still on top of the suspect.
He pulled the axe out he had it clipped onto his backpack, and I didn't realize that. He pulled it out, pointed it at me. I timed it so he lowered it. So once he lowered it, that's when I shot the takedown.
Perfect
takedown. And I controlled the situation.
It was closing time Sunday night at this car wash off State Road 200 southwest of Ocala. There were only a handful of employees, most of them teens, including Pino's younger brother.
I heard him yelling at my brother. I saw him look at my brother, and that's when I got I felt the adrenaline come in, because I knew he wasn't going to do something. He wasn't going to do something good.
Workers at the car wash say the suspect, Bryce Thayer, is not a complete stranger to them. They say he'd sit at the street corner to panhandle in recent weeks and was kicked off property earlier that day.
Watch the videos. Watch it, please.
We're going to love to. Thayer kept running his mouth as deputies cuffed him.
Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Can I say something? Nope. Get on your knees. What did I do?
Deputies say Thayer was also carrying a meth pipe. His black and blue mugshot shows Pino did some damage, while Pino only has a few scrapes.
Just
nice.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Damn, Nick.
Very thankful.
Wow. That's awesome. And he's in the
Pino
Army.
says his parents, as well
He's
as
just
his
enlisted.
little brother, they are very proud of him. The suspect, by the way, can walk out of jail if he posts $65,000 bond. At 11, what the suspect
$65,000.
was asking for at the beginning of the encounter that got Pino's attention. Live in Marion County, Manny Martinez, Fox 35 News.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. Wow. I'm like, holy shit. That was a nice takedown too. That was like perfect takedown. And his elbow landed on his face and busted up his face. So he went down like and the force coming down, the elbow hitting that eye socket, busted it. Perfect. Wow. And he's in the army. He's going to be a great soldier. I'll tell you right now, he's going to excel in the army. He's going to do very well. And that's another one for us, you know? It's another soldier protecting for our freedom. Can't complain about that. All right, here we go. The last video of the night. Yeah, we're coming to an end. I passed the 2 hours. It's okay. Overtime. But the last video of the night, it's Tyson De La Cruz. So let's go ahead and set that up. And let's watch.
Part of it makes me think that, well,
no, not this guy.
Feeling the idea of having a woman as president. Because you think that's a sign of strength. Because that's what being a man is. Putting women down. That's not acceptable.
America, you just watched Barack Hussein Obama or
Barry Tyson's not the last video of the night.
Name he's going by these days.
I got to add on.
Men about their voting choices.
I want to stay right where I'm at. I don't want to be forced out.
Thursday morning, Kiana and other tenants who formed a union teamed up with local housing groups, pushing back against a potentially substantial rent increase.
And here's the part that seals the deal. The same man who rode black votes all the way to the White House is now building a monument to himself that doubles rent and forces the people who elected him out of their own neighborhood. And while he's kicking them out, he has the audacity to scold them for not voting the way that he wants.
Properties in the area are getting more pricey, more expensive due to nearby Obama Presidential Center.
Wow. Tyson's not the last video of the night.
What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me.
Sorry, Tyson.
Through one of the most perfect metaphors of
Good friend of the
Obama's
show.
Presidency, because this Obama Center situation is absolutely
I'm not bringing back
poetic and
Tyson until
pathetic
we
at
get
the
1,000
same time.
subscribers.
Barry Soetoro, or Barack Hussein Obama, spent 8 years convincing Black Americans that he was the champion, that he was Black Jesus, first Black president, historic, change we can believe in, he says. It was all BS.
$700 to $800 rent many tenants are paying now would become unaffordable.
Well, he's required for it to be affordable, but again, affordable is considered 60% AMI, which is not really affordable.
So let me get this straight. You're paying $700 a month for a 1-bedroom, which is already kind of a stretch for most people's budget in a lot of different scenarios. Then Obama decides to build his $850 million presidential center just a few blocks away. And now developers are obviously circling like vultures. Property values are skyrocketing to the ceiling. And suddenly that same apartment is going for $1,400 minimum. But don't worry, guys. Mayor Mohawk Brandon Johnson says rents will be quote unquote affordable because they set a 60% of area median income. You know what 60% AMI means in Chicago? Is still not affordable for most people who've been living in those particular neighborhoods for decades.
Why do people have to leave the neighborhood when they were here, when, you know, it wasn't the best? And now that it's improving, they have to go.
They cry for the news networks. Why do we have to leave this neighborhood when we've been here when it wasn't the best? And now that it's improving, we got to go. That is not a question for anybody. Just maybe, folks, instead of creating a union to stop rent increases, maybe you guys should have started a union to maybe try to figure out how to buy the building. Then maybe rents wouldn't increase, but that's neither here nor there. These people apparently have raised their families there. And now Obama is bringing one of the worst investments. But with that worst investment, it's bringing improvements that these people are being priced out. That is Obama's legacy. Pure betrayal. Now, let me show you what Obama's spending $850 million on.
Damn.
Because it is not some beautiful architectural marvel. This is what happens when you let Jamarcus Jamoy Johnson, his first big contract, do the concrete in this particular building. This is what happens when you let DEI, the he, they, them, PlayStation 3s are hired for this construction project. You get absolute crap.
Where's President Obama been? He's been building a very expensive eyesore in Chicago for the
form of a
presidential
library.
Yeah. We saw a tour of him inside, and the inside doesn't look any better than the outside. People have compared it to the Dark Star, some sort of Star Wars thing. But we have now. There it is. Look at that.
Cool.
So that's what he's spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do.
Look at this thing. That's $850 million for a presidential center. I have salt rocks, guys, that look better than that. It looks absolute like trash. Disgusting design. This seriously looks like a 6-year-old designed it, or somebody who failed architecture school.
It's a
Or
concrete
maybe
building.
a transgender artist that used to do comic books and said, you know what? I'm going to do the Obama Center. And Obama said, yeah, let's do it.
There are not a lot of windows on the building, but that's intentional because sunlight is just not a friend to the artwork.
Guys, you know what else has no windows? Prisons, bunkers, tombs. But sure, Barack built a windowless concrete monstrosity and called it intentional design. I call it intentionally stupid.
Mr. President, you're building your ballroom right now. They're also building the Obama Presidential Library. I'm wondering if you've
He
seen.
needs help.
Have you seen pictures of the architecture? And
Yeah,
what
I
do you think
did. It's not too pretty. No, but it's closed. It's stopped. They ran out of money. I mean, he's building a library / museum. You know, you call it some museum, and usually they call it library and museum. That's the official name. And they're stuck. And he wanted only women and DEI to build it. Well, that's what they got. And the construction workers are standing out there and saying, we want to be able to build it. You know, I built a great building in Chicago, as you know, a big, beautiful building, one of the tallest buildings in the country. And we got it built very quickly, very well. And we used the construction workers of Chicago. They're great workers. They're great construction people. And I suggested he get them involved, but they're hundreds of millions of dollars over budget. And I think it stopped. I'm reading these terrible stories, but that's the way our country was run under President Obama too. Nobody knew it.
And here's the kicker. Trump revealed that Obama insisted on DEI hiring for construction. Only women, only diversity hires, not the people who are best at construction. And you're surprised that it looks like a Soviet era housing block and cost $850 million. For context here, the George W. Bush Presidential Library cost $250 million. The Clinton Library, $165 million. Obama's cost $850 million, and that thing is still counting. That's what happens, guys, when you prioritize woke ideology over competence. Now, let me address the elephant in the room that hardly anybody wants to talk about. Obama never did a damn thing for black people. He got elected because he was black. That's it. That was the whole reason. He bamboozled damn near every black person in America.
And now that the Obama Center is coming, all of these new buyers want to come in and they want to take over the land that has already been here and kick out the people that have been here and have benefited from this community and have also put something into this community.
Black unemployment didn't improve significantly under Obama compared to overall trends. Criminal justice reform didn't happen until Trump came in with the First Step Act. Wealth gap between black and white Americans got worse during Obama's presidency. But hey, at least he gave us hope and change, right? And now his presidential center, his legacy point, is literally displacing the black community that put him in office. These apartment complexes near the area, the residents have been there for decades. Some of them were born there. And now they're forming tenant unions to fight evictions because Obama's monument to himself is making their neighborhood unaffordable.
The group says a prospective buyer from California plans to gut and rehab the building or demolish it. Either way, the $700 to $800 rent many tenants are paying now would become unaffordable.
These residents have been apparently maintaining the property themselves after the landlord abandoned it, and their reward for keeping the place, quote unquote, livable, They're going to get kicked out so some California developer can charge luxury rent to Obama Center employees. Now, let me show you something that destroys the Obama myth, because even civil rights icons didn't buy his act. Jesse Jackson, the late Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson, civil rights legend who marched with Dr. King, was caught on a hot mic.
On Sunday, Jackson had just completed an interview with the Fox News channel and made the following comment, he says, in reaction to a recent Obama speech on the morals and responsibilities of African American men.
And what was Barry Soetoro, Barack Hussein Obama doing to piss Jackson off? Exactly what he was doing during the presidential campaign, lecturing black people about their morals and responsibilities while doing absolutely nothing to actually help them.
Also, the big thing is just how expensive this library
Wow.
has come. It was supposed to be $300 million. It has ballooned in price to $850 million.
Where's that money coming from? Because it's sure as hell not going to housing assistance and the people that are being evicted. Now, let me tell you who Obama spent his political capital on, because it sure is crap is not black Americans.
When you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you.
This clip is forever going to live in my mind. Listen to this condescending garbage. Obama's telling black men that they're sexist for not supporting a dum-dum named Kamala Harris, a woman who literally built her political career by sleeping with Willie Brown, spreading her legs. A married man, 30 years older than her. Willie Brown admitted it. He set her up with appointments that launched her career. But Obama, he wants black men to vote for her anyways. And if they don't, they're putting women down. What? And guys, and here's what kills me. Obama spent more time pushing LGBTQ plus PlayStation 3 agenda during his presidency than he ever spent on policies that would actually help black communities. Remember when he lit up the White House with the rainbow colors after gay marriage rulings? Remember all the executive orders and proclamations for Pride Month? Now show me one executive order Obama signed specifically to address the black wealth gap, which he said that he was going to address. Show me one major initiative that he launched to combat systematic inequality in black communities, which he ran on. Oh, wait.
Mayor Brandon Johnson has been an advocate to help the Jackson Park community. It adds the mayor partnered with Alderman Desmond Yancey and community organizations, including Southside Together, to pass the Jackson Park housing pilot ordinance designed to prevent long-term neighborhood residents from being displaced, which was approved by the full City Council.
And now you have Brandon Johnson, another Democrat failure, pretending he's helping by passing ordinances that don't actually stop anyone from getting displaced. Jackson Park Housing Pilot Ordinance designed to prevent displacement. Cool, Brandon. Cool, Brandon. How's that working out for the 700 residents in that particular apartment complex? And here's the final piece people don't want to acknowledge. Obama opened the door for all the woke bullcrap that Trump and the administration is now having to clean up. Every insane progressive policy that we see today, every DEI mandate, every gender ideology pushed on kids, every equity over equality disaster, that pipeline was started by Barack Hussein Obama.
Former President Obama with a hard hat and a construction vest walking around giving the American public a tour. Here it is. You know what I think that is?
Shades of Dukakis.
I think Obama realized how successful Donald Trump was when he engages and does things like this. And he thought, I'm going to steal a page and try and sell my eyesore presidential library.
Look at him give a hard hat tour like he's some kind of blue collar builder. This man never built anything in his entire life except for his own brand. And now he's cosplaying as a construction worker while people that he was supposed to represent are being forced out of their own neighborhood. America, Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Sortoro, whatever name fits the moment, spent 8 years convincing Black Americans that he was their savior, that he was Black Jesus, first Black president, historic, new era. And what did they get? Absolutely nothing except for lectures about their voting choices and an $850 million concrete eyesore that's doubling their rent and forcing them out of their own neighborhoods. Jesse Jackson saw through his crap as well. Turns out Jesse was right, because here we are in 2026, and Obama is still talking down to Black men. This time for not voting a woman who built her entire career on her back. Meanwhile, the same community that gave him 96% of their votes is forming a tenant union to avoid evictions because his presidential library is attracting California investors who want to turn that apartment complex into Lincoln Park. The irony here is absolutely perfect. Obama's legacy is literally gentrifying the Black community out of existence. Barry Sortoro bamboozled Black Americans, and 15 years later, he's still cashing the checks while they're getting evicted. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, Tyson Relativity, for a great upload there. $850 million on a fucking block of concrete. I wonder where the rest of the money is going to, because that bitch does not cost no 800 million. Now I don't know 850 million. Shit, maybe 50 million for all concrete. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous, ridiculous. And the fact that they ran out of money and now they want money to continue finishing a project that should have cost no more than 200 million. Like all the other rest of the presidents that have really nice little president's libraries, and they didn't spend that much money, 250 million. Nah, Obama's special. He's the special one. We gotta give him 850 million for a fucking eyesore. And that's what it looks like. It looks like an eyesore. All right, guys. I did say Tyson was gonna be the last, but he's not the last. He asked why, because something came up, and I think it would be fair for us to watch. So let me set it up, and we're gonna watch together. Jason A.
Every time we're here, something crazy is going on, man.
Yeah, maybe we manifest it.
To be honest, 2026 did start with a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things, it's just nothing seems stable everywhere. Everywhere in the world seems fucked right now. Like this is in all of my years, this seems the most unstable globally. Like I never worried that the UK was going to be like complete chaos, arresting 12,000 people for social media posts and abandoning trial by jury, all that shit. I never thought the Ukraine-Russia war would go on this long. Never thought. Never thought they would just continue bombing Gaza, and then what's happening now? They just sort of stop, and now they're talking about putting a resort there. What? Are you, you hear that and you go, are you f***ing serious?
Look at this.
אחי, אמרתי לכם, מה יש לכם? צום, נותן!
Iran and its proxies, drawing in the entire region since February the 28th. Here we can show you a map of where strikes have happened since that in those 12 days. Let me ask you, Manlio Graziano, is it a world war already? Listening to Vera here, we have 1.5 superpowers involved already.
Which is the half?
The half is Russia.
I'm very concerned, and I think the American people are also very concerned because there really is no clear end game. And everyone's feeling it around the globe, the effects of this conflict.
I'm going to round up with one question, which I think is very crucial as well. Given the missile interception over Turkey, you in the past have referred to Turkey and said, we should not turn a blind eye to them, suggesting they may be more aligning more closely to a regional axis, including Iran. But obviously the tables have turned in the last 24 hours with Turkey also having to intercept some of the missiles that have been directed towards them. Let me just ask you whether there's a risk of further confrontation with Turkey based on comments that you said in the past.
Well, we need to ensure that Erdogan doesn't create a new alliance of radical Islam Sunni version, meaning an axis between himself, Julani, Qatar, and Hamas. We've been facing for many decades the Shiite radical Islam, and I hope that Turkey doesn't choose to foment terror and Islamism in its power. It's up to Turkey ultimately. If they seek peace, we definitely want peace. But if they try and surround us with terror, we will not sit idle.
But it also comes at a time we are seeing those first coordinated attacks between Iran and Hezbollah terrorists. This is some new video into the newsroom from overnight showing the IRGC here launching these long-range missiles you see in this area at Israel and U.S. bases in the area. The video is taken on the streets of Tel Aviv, and you can see all the lights in the sky. This is that cluster of bombs that we talked about right here. Many of those can get past the Iron Dome there in Israel. That's shown to be pretty problematic, as some can slip through, and that allows the chance for those to hit those folks on the ground and buildings in the area in Tel Aviv and around Israel.
Day 11, and as you know, we're doing something that nobody ever thought was possible to do. Our military is the best. It's the most powerful in the world, and they're hitting them very hard. This is 47 years of abuse and killing lots of people, killing and maiming lots of people.
What more do you need to do militarily for this operation to end?
More of the same, and we'll see how that all comes out. Right now, they've lost their Navy, they've lost their Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all, they have no radar, their leaders are gone, and we could do a lot worse. We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
This conflict is striking deeper at the global economy. Oil storage facilities, one of the latest targets at Oman's port of Salalah.
I just want to give our viewers a little bit more information on that breaking news we just had on 2 foreign tankers carrying Iraqi fuel subject to unidentified attacks inside territorial waters. We're seeing some pictures of this now, causing them to catch fire. This is according to the Iraqi port officials. Now, Iraq says that 25 crew members from the 2 vessels have been evacuated, but the fire is still going on both of those ships. So, John, this leads us into what my next question is for you, which is, despite all of these issues with refineries, with production, with shipping, the president is maintaining confidence that oil prices are going to come down and come down quickly. So why is he so optimistic?
That's a travesty right there.
I think in part he's optimistic because that's something that he has to say, that he has to project that sort of confidence.
But right now, the Strait of Hormuz looks like this. Commercial shipping at a standstill in this strategic choke point for the world's energy. And it's become incredibly dangerous. This Thai-flagged ship caught fire after being hit by Iran while trying to escape the strait. In the past day, at least 3 vessels have been attacked by projectiles, likely drones.
A Thai flag cargo ship was struck by a projectile in the Strait of Hormuz, setting it on fire.
that strike coming as Iran launched a wave of attacks across the region, and as the U.S. weighs commercial ship escorts to prevent Iran from halting traffic through that critical oil conduit. The International Energy Agency, hoping to get ahead of supply disruption, announcing its largest ever release of 400 million barrels from its global strategic reserves. That's a move they hope will lower crude prices. But it was a muted response today in the oil markets. The price per barrel today still up 4.5% after a dipping initially on that news. In the meantime, a pretty alarming report here at home. According to an alert reviewed by ABC News, the FBI warned police departments in California that in recent days, Iran could retaliate for American attacks by launching drones at the West Coast.
The alert that we reviewed said an uncorroborated report suggested that unidentified Mexican cartel leaders had authorized attacks using drones carrying explosives, so they know that capability exists. And this separate alert that we've reviewed, Kira, says that Iran has those same kinds of aspirations. So the U.S. has broadly known for some time that drones could be deployed against the homeland. We know that Iran has been using drones significantly in this 12-day-old war with the United States. That's what killed the first 6 U.S. service members in this war. But now the FBI is specifically warning police agencies in California along the Pacific coastline that Iran is aspiring to use them to attack in the West.
And what the fuck some breaking news, some news just in via some pictures that have only just emerged while we've been in an ad break of Beirut being hit. There have been multiple explosions. We'll just run this video back and play it for you now. Yeah, so it was a short burst of fire there as we take a live picture now. This is again over the city of Beirut, Lebanon's capital, and you can see columns of black smoke that are rising into the night sky as we get closer and closer to the later part of the evening. So we'll keep watching that. These live pictures just in of attacks in Beirut.
I'm not saying we're done. I'm saying that primary combat operations could be done as quick as next week, late next week. The question always becomes, what's next? Okay, we blew up the ships. We took over their airspace. Do we have to do something on the ground to look for things? Do we have to go over additional leaders? So that's what is really going to drag out. We're hoping, obviously, that the Iranian people do something to essentially throw off the mullahs and the theocracy that they've been living under, which would help everybody, I believe.
Seems unlikely, though. All right, Tony.
Well, Donald recently mentioned that he wanted a total surrender, and we just know that that's not going to happen. I mean, leaders in Iran has already stated that that was unrealistic. And so we have to wonder what this really is leading to. I believe that there's going to be more escalation, which means that this is going to be a prolonged conflict.
So why you are so scared about? Why are you pushing that fear? Listen, if it's going to be it's going to be prolonged. But guess what? It's going to come to an end because these clowns over there, they continue to shoot their ballistic missiles nonstop. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, that we don't have a satellite monitoring these launches and where they're coming from, because they should have a satellite like facing downwards and picking up on energy, picking up on the flare, the fire, the heat from a missile going up, and pinpoint to exactly where that missile came out of. So that way the next missile will be coming from the US to blow up that site. I don't understand why we don't have a satellite that can detect that. I mean, it would make our lives a lot easier, especially ballistic missiles. Like, those things, they take a while to start up. It's not like, oh, you just shoots it off. No, it takes a moment. It takes time. And there's nothing above that could detect like something like that. I mean, come on. All right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up. tired and I'm ready for going to bed. I'm trying to figure out which Pokemon I'm gonna open. I think I may go with probably this one. Probably start a new series. This is a Prismatic Evolutions. So I'm not 100% sure which one to start, but I am going to start with a new series on my YouTube Shorts. So please look out for that and leave a like and a comment. Comments. I'm looking for comments. And maybe you guys, I'll do a little video and put a little video up on the Shorts, and you guys get to pick which one I should open, and then I'll do a series out of it because I only open one pack a day because I ain't rich like that. But at least it's hit or miss. That's how Pokemon is. The bulk, I'm saving all my cards. I'm saving it for my niece. So when she gets older, she'll have enough cards to go ahead and get into tournaments and play. And I think it'd be a great head start for me to give to her to progress. And that's what it's about. It's not all about me. It's about my niece. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And I'll be back on here tomorrow around the same time. Hopefully, maybe a little early or not, depending on how I feel. I got to see the chiropractor tomorrow, so I'm not going to feel that good. All right, guys. Good night.